This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman out there. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water, like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman out there.
Yo, it's your boy Naughty G.
It's your boy King Rob.
Yo, and y'all back for another episode of Men Cheat Codes.
We back for another one, man. Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
it, man. So,
and today, yo, we got a special guest, real special guest. Rob, go ahead and take it away, Rob.
man, listen here, man. He said a special guest. I know y'all hear that shit on every episode we do, but listen to me when I say this, man. Like, this is more than a special guest, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a special guest because. Well, it's a special guest because he on Men Cheat Codes, right?
Yeah,
And we don't have nothing but the best guest on our show. But with this guy that we sitting here with today, man, it's different. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. It's real different. So stay tuned, man, because we got a lot to cover on this episode,
sure.
man. Y'all gonna learn a lot. And for them boys out there, man, this is really for y'all, man. Them young boys out there, right? Them young boys that's in that age range between, like 16 to like maybe 35-ish, right? For them young niggas who really still trying to figure out their life, figure out what being a man is and
for sure.
shit like that. This for y'all, man, because we got somebody in the building right now, man, that can speak on damn near everything that you're going through, everything that you're thinking about doing, and everything in between, right? So with that being said, we're gonna let these boys go ahead and introduce themselves, but I will at least mention their names,
For sure.
and I'll let them speak on who they are. Okay? So with us today, man, we got the one and the motherfucking only Karl motherfucking Fort in the motherfucking
legend, bro.
building, man.
Legend.
Karl
Hey, how
with a
y'all
K,
brothers
man.
doing, man? How y'all doing?
What's
Hey,
going on, man?
listen, man. Both of these brothers, honestly, so we got Karl Fort and we got Cuz, right? Christopher D. Sims in the building, right?
in the building.
In the motherfucking building. Both of these gentlemen are gentlemen that you can literally Google. So pull out your phone right now as you're watching the episode. Matter of fact, pause the episode.
Yeah.
Pull out your phone and Google Karl Fort. KarlFort. And my brother Christopher D. Sims. That's CHRISTOPHER space D space Sims. SIMS.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah,
Sims.
that's it. They call me Rockford's favorite poet, but
There you go.
I grind from the west side, man.
Yes, sir.
I grind. Yeah.
For sure.
Let's get it. So let's start with you, Karl, man. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Karl Fort, and I'm originally from Rockford, Illinois. I lived on the west side all my life, but I got to live all over on Rockford, so you just can't just put me in one location.
Right.
I feel like I own the whole Rockford.
I told y'all, man.
'Cause, I can go anywhere, man, and certain people embrace me and certain people don't, but
sure.
that's life, what I'm
That's
saying?
exactly what
But
it
at
is,
the end
yeah.
of the day, man, I hope this be a good segment and a very purposeful moment, man, for the audience, man, because
Absolutely.
it's crucial out here, man, in the United States of America, man. But
Yes,
for the
sir.
most part, man, it's messed up here in Rockford, man, and we need teamwork
Yeah.
to get the job done, man. We don't need nobody that's, got something negative to say about this or that. Let's talk about, man, what's reachable for y'all to make our city better, man.
Facts.
Right, indeed.
And make people come spend money in our city, man.
I fuck with it, man.
That's what I like to hear, when you can get people from Chicago, Milwaukee, Racine, all them places,
Boy,
man. Come spend your dollar here, man, because it's worth it,
For sure.
Say less,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
And my boy Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, peace and blessings. Christopher D. Sims is in the building. They call me Rockford's favorite poet, but I earned that because I've been hustling and grinding and doing my thing on the poetry side for quite a while. I'll be 50 on Valentine's Day.
Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it. I've been
a milestone.
Yeah,
it is a
man, it's a
milestone.
blessing.
It's a toast to the 50 Club.
Oh man, there we go. There we go, fam. Yeah, and I've been writing since I was 9 years old, at high school, elementary school. So it's just a blessing, man, to be with my cousin Karl right here, who I came up under back in the days. It's a blessing, man.
Yeah. So let's start right there. So you said, this cuz for you, so that's family, and you came up under him, right? So before we come to you, right? Let's start with you. And what I want to start with is, you said you came up under him, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, you know what I'm
man,
saying?
that's a beautiful question, man. So I'm gonna take us back to Fairgrounds back in the day, back when Fairgrounds was popping, Lee Street, Acorn, Underwood, all of that. Fam used to walk through Fairgrounds and be through there and hang with my big brother Tony and the rest of the fam too. So I'm a young dude, you know, a few years younger, just, you know.
Yeah.
Cuz was like a mentor, like, you know, and he probably didn't know that back then, but I'm watching Cuz be who he is. Always been a stand-up dude. So, you know, us young guys, we want to be around those stand-up dudes. So, yeah, I was just learning whatever I could from Cuz, and Cuz always showed love.
Absolutely. So for you, Karl, what was that like for you? Because like were you aware that, number one, you had some kind of like influence, and like in terms of like your inner circle, right? Your family, your homies and shit. What was it like for you knowing that, like, okay, it might really be some younger niggas that's looking up to me? Was that even a thought process, or you were just out here doing your thing, living your life, and then what came of it is just what it was?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. It started from my home, right, in the house, right? Like, you know, my dad, I was raised by a man. You know, when my mother and father got a divorce, I had a choice. Either I want to stay with my dad or I could stay with my mom.
Okay.
So, you know, I choose my dad because I felt like, shit, he was giving me everything I want. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had a relationship with my father, like, I had a big brother, little brother relationship with him, and I had a father and son. So we knew how to turn whatever relationship off and deal with it accordingly. Right? So I took a lot of things from him. You know, he was much older. You know, they had me in their late 30s. You know, they was about through making babies. So when I came in the picture, you know, I was the last one in the house. You know? And shit, I had it my way, man. So you know, I took that and just ran with it. When I finally started figuring out life, you know. So
you got older brothers, older sisters?
Yeah, you say you're the last one.
Oh, okay.
I got I got two older brothers. I got one of them passed away before I came home.
Rest in peace.
And then I got one that's alive, and I had one sister. She passed away.
Rest in
and
peace.
I got another sister that was on the case with me. She's still alive.
Okay.
So yeah, it was us, man. But you know, I come from a good home. My mother and father, they always worked.
Right.
You know, my father, he worked so many years at this plant called Greenlee Texture.
Oh, that's old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
You know? There were a lot of black people when they came from Arkansas, Mississippi. That's where they was working in these plantations. That's what I call
That's
it.
exactly what it is.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even get to live to enjoy their retirement.
Exactly.
They have a medical illness or something. You know?
My uncle LC was real cool with his father. So, like Karl said, Karl was raised by an older gentleman, so of course Cuz would grow up wise. So that wisdom that he's always had helped.
That's what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at, because you explained it perfectly. Like how, because you may not knew or was aware of the influence you had on the people coming up behind you, but because your structure was set up and because you had your dad, you had these qualities about yourself that then rubbed off onto other people, such as your cousin. That's dope as hell. It really is. So let's continue on with that though, the childhood, right? And your household, right? So in the household as a shorty, right? And kind of going off of the point that you mentioned, right? You said your mom and your dad got divorced and you had a choice, either go with mom or go with dad, and you chose dad, right? What was that like for you as a child, and then what was life like for you during that time?
Well, man, it was like, I could say this, man. I didn't want for nothing, you know, when I was a child, because my mom and them, they raised me how they want to raise me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want me out there like that. You know what I'm saying? So I had other relatives that was out there like that. You know what I'm saying? So they looking at, no, I'm not finna have my kids like that. You know what I'm saying? But
For sure.
at the end of the day, you know, I choose to do what I wanted to do. You know, at a young age, I had a chance. So,
well, how old was you when you had to make that choice between mom and dad?
10 years old. I just turned 10. They divorced, became finalized right before my birthday.
Okay. Okay, so you're 10 years old. So what's that like? What grade you in 10? You probably
At 10,
like,
I was
eighth grade.
Nah, hell no.
No, I
8th
was
grade,
in
like
third
third grade or some
Yeah,
shit like
third
this,
grade.
something like that.
I started off at Ellis School. I started off at Ellis.
The first Ellis school.
Yeah, the first Ellis School.
What you mean the first one?
So Ellis on the west side won the first.
No, the building is new, but there was when I was there way before that.
Oh, for real?
Oh,
yeah.
you know,
I
Ellis
didn't
School.
know that.
I went there too.
Oh,
So
damn.
Yeah.
Then, you know, when they did all this segregation and migrating students, I ended up going to McIntosh.
Oh,
So
yeah.
McIntosh was totally different from Ellis. McIntosh was more like a modern pie school. You had pies.
Oh, okay.
Ellis, it
I
was just
remember that.
classroom and
Yeah.
fans and no air
So
conditioning.
the Macintosh, where is that right now? The
Yeah,
one?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
So
Yeah.
I went from that school. Then when I got in the 7th grade. I went to West.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started integrating bus shit again. So I went out to Kennedy.
Right.
Where Kennedy was at, Kennedy was way out there.
way out there, yeah.
Rockton. Whatever that
Okay.
school is, now it's Academy School. That was Kennedy Middle School.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So then, you know, like growing up, man, I didn't really have no child life, you know. I mean, as far as like, you know, I never rode a horse. I never went fishing. I never got in a boat.
No camping, none of
No
that shit.
camping or none of that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I was answering the door, man. Don't let the police come in this house.
Right, yeah,
You know, this type of stuff I was
Yeah.
You know, or my dad might tell me, hey, you run the house while I'm gone. Don't let nobody take over nothing. You do this.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, I'm like processing all this
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
At a young
See,
age.
not only that, it's stroking my ego because now I'm the man.
The man of the
You
house.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I'm looking at it like, man, fuck y'all. That's that man thing.
And my uncle LC, who was real cool with his dad, was right there.
Yeah.
And all of that. I mean,
Yeah.
man, it was just family and love, man.
And that's-
manhood.
That's what I was coming back to with you because you know y'all been rocking since shortest, I'm assuming, right? Were you around him at this time when he 10 years old and he going through this family breakup and shit like that?
I
Or
was
it
a
later?
little younger, so I didn't see all of that. But
Okay.
my brother Tony was around seeing that.
Okay. So at around what time did you start to really come around and be around him? Like,
When I was at middle school, Cuz was up on. By then, Cousin was up on Mulberry. There was a house on Mulberry and
Yeah,
Irving.
house on-
You remember
Okay.
that, Cuz?
Yeah. Marbury.
Yeah.
That was G Money house.
That was G Money crib.
what year is this? And then about how old are y'all?
That had to be like 80, probably about 88, 89.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm around 13, 14.
Okay.
Me, you know, and we got a huge family, the Force and the Sims. And then you got to add the Purefoys and the Blakes and the Gullies and all that.
Yes, we got a mixture pot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, big
right.
ass family. Big
That
ass
shit stem
family.
from down Arkansas, Mississippi. So,
Yeah.
you know, and then, you know, since I've been home, I learned the history of my family. So it's kind of unique. It's kind of unique, you know, because I had learned the history of my family since I've been home.
Yeah,
that's
I've been
cool.
going down there with my father from, so I'm like, damn, all this shit was going on.
Yeah.
They had some secrets down there, man.
Like what? You want
Oh,
to
we
get
gotta
into
talk
it?
about that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't just say that, man. You got to tell us now, bro.
Like back in the day, right? Like, you know, I'm related to the boxes here, right? Like
Okay.
my grandmother is a box.
Right.
That's my daddy's mother. So what I found out, the boxes like in 1927 through 1937, they had the most women in their family. So like all the males that didn't have, you know, a lot of women, they was shooting at them women.
Right.
Like, man, I'm finna get to her, I'm finna get
Right,
her.
right.
So this is what I learned by one of my cousins that's like, he like 80 years old now. They had
Damn.
a big old history book. So he was like the Force, we had a lot of males in our family at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they was hunting season, you know what I'm saying? I guess they were trying to find a mate, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
So that's how all that stuff like transpires.
Fire,
So
yeah.
It's like a spider web, you
Yeah.
know?
Right,
And y'all know who Charles Box is, right?
No,
Remember Charles Box?
No, they don't.
He was a black mayor of Rockford for 2 straight terms. So we kin to him.
Oh,
What
damn.
year was this? What? That's dope.
This was like I want to say 88
He
through.
was the mayor when I got locked up too.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were just talking about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's dope as hell. And so okay, let me make sure that because you know we want to, because I know you can't prepare as fuck. Both of y'all can't prepare as fuck. So I want to make sure our audience is also prepared, and if you're not prepared, I want them to be able to do their research. So you say Charles Box, y'all related to him, and he was the mayor of Rockford.
2 straight terms. And his first term, he won by a landslide. It was so ugly. It was like black people was voting for Obama when he was voting for
that's
Charles
how it was.
Box.
Right.
It was crazy.
That's dope as hell.
I was in
man.
middle school at Eisenhower, and we were so happy to get him in office, man. So that's blood, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That's dope, though.
So what I'm taking from all of this, right, especially for you, Chris, is that you had influences,
Right.
You know, some of them might be a little, but then you had other ones too, though. That was like, nah, this is how you really stand up and be a man, like,
Right, yeah.
and not to say that the other influence, because I feel like they also stood up and was men, just in a different way. And I think that's what's like really so crazy about our society today, especially for black men. Like, it's more than one way to consider yourself a man.
Right.
Some niggas can do it and become that in the streets. Some niggas put on that suit and tie and they do it in the office. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in a way, similar to me, you kind of get the best of both worlds, and that's what allow you to kind of make your decisions on which route you want to take.
For sure.
So with that being said, how do both of y'all feel about the black men that was in y'all life when y'all was younger, around this 10, 13, 14, 15 year old? How was the black men in y'all life, and how did they impact y'all?
Yeah, especially in that time.
In that time when y'all younger like that.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, right? I think a lot of the older black men love me because I believe they saw themselves in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, you know, like, they used to pay me to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, you know, under the underworld, the black people, they used to have a lottery ticket, right? The lottery, black lottery.
That's old school.
Explain that. What you mean?
You remember they used to say the lottery guy or some shit?
Yeah.
You never heard of that?
No, this is my first hustle.
numbers guy.
The numbers guy. It's called the numbers guy, right?
Break it down,
check it out.
Break it down for me.
It's like the lottery. You know, like the lottery come out every day. Like, this what they do. They you can come place a bet over here, right?
Yeah.
And then when 7 o'clock the lottery come out, you hit or you can go get paid. But I bring the money to you. I was doing that when I was like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, Karl started early.
So what you saying is that it's a guy that says you could play these numbers like you play the regular so it's pretty much a bootleg lottery. It's pretty much
It's the black lottery.
right. Exactly. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
They got movies where they depict that too. You see the numbers man, and it's a smooth black dude. You know, getting the tickets and delivering the money. It's historical.
So then, you know, like
That's a hustle though.
you know, when I was like this like when I was like 13 and 14, right? I was like, dang, I started seeing this money. You know, little kid like me, man, I'm having $400 or $500, $100 bills in my pocket.
Swear to God.
So you know, I'm looking out for all my little homies, man. You know, that's with me. You know what I'm saying? Going out to the mall. At the time, I ain't had no car.
Yeah.
So we was jumping on the city bus going out to Northtown Mall, and Chesney Mall.
Right.
What's that, Cherryville or some shit?
Man, I ain't go that motherfucker. That motherfucker way out there. I went to Chesley was more close. Chesley and Northtown. Northtown.
I ain't know Northtown was popping.
Oh man, bro, it was popping back
They had a
then.
movie theater in there.
Yeah, I know. I remember that
We
movie.
used to hit it up.
Yeah, so we used to go out there, man. You know what I'm saying, and just enjoy life, man, at a young age.
Okay.
But
the black man in your life.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, you know, like cause you mentioned the guy who was playing the numbers and shit like that, but like was that the only influence?
No, I had multiple influences in my life, man. It just, man, certain people, you know, it resonate with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
You know, you look at where you at now today, and you be like, man, I'm thankful for them, man.
Right.
They took some. They saw something in
me.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you know, a lot of my. Now this moving to when I'm like 17 and 18 now. I'm deep in the streets now.
No, hold on, cause we gotta get there. We're not there yet. Hold on, we gotta get there. I promise you. Hold on, exactly. And we finna get there. But I still want to kind of touch on this topic a little bit because I think it's important. Because I think a lot of who we ultimately become as men be partially based on the men that we seen coming up, right?
Yeah.
So I want to expand on that a little bit more if y'all okay with that. Like who were the men in your life? And if it wasn't no men, like then it wasn't.
Yeah.
But who were the men in your life that really like impacted you?
It was like my father. I used to be with him every day. I used to watch how he moved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he used to always tell me like he dropped little clay sheets on me like he'll say, hey man, when you out in the street, you don't never go straight home.
That's your dad telling you this.
You make a block. We might be riding. He come. He might say, you make a block. You don't never go straight home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He said because somebody might be following.
Yeah,
That's what he used to
I
tell me,
learned that too.
So I
Yeah,
used to be like, man, what the fuck all that shit for?
yeah,
But not knowing, he was really explaining to me like how life can be in this type of world.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really register to me at the time, but when I started making money on my own, I started seeing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
for
I was like, like the little dude on Goodfella. What was his name? There always be. He was like, to me, he was like.
I ain't never seen it.
He was like arrogant, but he was. He had an ego complex.
You
man.
seen Goodfellas?
Yeah, I seen it, but
Leo. He shot the little boy.
I ain't never seen it.
At the little bar. The boy
Yeah.
was laughing at him. So he said, "What the fuck you laughing
Yeah, I
at?"
ain't never
Wow.
seen it.
Yeah.
I was that type of individual. Far as like when I got in the street, I used to always challenge myself. I look at a movie, I say, "Oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this," and I go do it, and I get it all. Oh, that's me.
Let me ask you this.
Like that.
What was your pop's name?
Well, his name was Fred Ford, but everybody in the city called him Uncle Mickey. He
Uncle
was like
Mickey.
Everybody, Uncle.
Okay,
Daddy.
because like you said, he worked for Greenleaf, right? And that's one aspect of him. But like, how was he just as a man, like in the household, in the neighborhood, with the community,
did he
as
work
a
a lot?
father?
Like he was working a lot.
No, he had open heart surgery. After that, he said, "Fuck that shit," so he just started grinding hard, and then, he opened up his house. Our house was like an after hours joint. You come there, drink beer, buy beer.
Yeah.
You might want to rent a room and say, man, I want to take this girl over here. All right, give me $25. You can go use the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit like that. It was after hours
So like a
joint.
cool ass, down to earth ass, likable ass type of guy.
Yeah, you can ask any old motherfucker. They'll tell you, oh, I can make it, man. Them was the days.
Yeah.
'Cause my dad had the house open up to the public. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so he turned your house like a sugar shack or something like
Man,
that.
it was after hours joint.
Let me ask you this: are there any principles or anything that really he instilled in you that really stand out and help you today as a man?
Yeah, several of them. Like one, he always taught me. I can tell y'all this incident, right? I was like 11 years old.
Okay.
South Main, down here by the embassy.
Yep.
Well, down here where it used to be the Idle Inn Club.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, anyway, my dad used to take me with him at night because he didn't want me staying at the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he'd take me with him on his run.
Yeah.
So we went down there. He got me something to eat, and he went and picked up some money. So we get in the car. He saw this police following us. Now this time the police station was right there where the city hall was at
Right.
down
Yeah, I know
there.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
So this was my first incident ever getting involved with the system.
Police.
So
You say you 11?
Huh? Yeah, I was 11 years old.
Okay.
I'm in the car with him.
Right. It was your pops. So,
Yeah,
it ain't care, it's not a care in the world for you at this particular time.
Yeah, so we in the car. They hit the lights.
Yep.
And I remember the man telling my dad, he said, my dad said, well, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you just, what did he say? I heard you squeal your tires or some shit.
Goofy shit, yeah.
So my dad said, hey, man, you gonna write me a ticket or what, man? I got my son in the car with me. So I guess the police, he got mad. He took my dad's license. But then what he did, he called another police. So they get my dad for reckless driving or some shit.
Goofy
Like
shit,
that.
yeah.
And disobeying a direct order or some shit.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dad told me. he
Fuck you
wasn't
type shit.
He wasn't gonna do shit to his car.
Yeah. Fuck you.
So they took my dad to jail. So I'm in the car. I'm on the passenger side. My dad tell me, he said, listen, they finna take us to jail. But he said, when you get down here, you better not say shit. And I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm gonna know if you said something. So you better not say shit to these motherfuckers. And don't take they potato chip or candy bar. Tell them, no, just lay your motherfucking head on that table. Somebody be to get you. Yeah. So I'm processing
11
this.
years old, like, okay,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So look, so everything he said happened. We get down here to the station. They don't handcuff me or nothing.
Yeah.
So they take me in there. So the police say, what's your name? I ain't say nothing. I just laid my head on the table.
Doing as you told. Doing as you told.
He didn't do nothing. He shut the door. It was cold in the motherfucker. So then after that, they come back in there, right? So he said, you hungry? Want some chips? Want some potato chip? I just laid my head on the door. So they brought a lady in there. The old lady said, can I fix you a sandwich? Your dad gonna be out in a minute. Somebody gonna pick you up. I just laid my head on it. So look, I got out. My mom came and got me first.
Yep.
She let my dad stay down there till in the morning. So look, no lie.
That's a relationship and shit. Like, fuck that. I'm gonna get my son, but fuck that. He can sit for a little bit. I'm gonna get my son
When my dad got out the next morning, he, it just, look, I knew I did something right because he was just smiling at me. It was like a glow. So he told me, he said, what's going on? You all right? I said, yeah. He said, you want to go to Farm and Fleet with me? I said, yeah. So he said, come on.
The one out on State Street?
The one, way out there. So look, this is what he had. I said, Dad, man, I've been wanting this BB gun over here, right? So he kept telling me, he said, which one? I said, I think it was called Air something. But I needed an air cartridge.
I remember the bitch. It's called Air something. I remember the BB gun. Damn, what's it?
Man, look, I got two of them. I got a gun,
a little Glock,
and I got
a rifle,
Daisy joint, right? So I got shells and everything. So he was like, man, don't be shooting that gun at people. You should make you a target or something. That's what he used to tell me. So hey man, I got that shit. I went home. I go down to my homie house. I said, yeah, I got me a new toy like this, right? He was like, where you get that? Let's go shoot this bird. Let's go shoot this bird.
Some squirrels or some shit.
So, man, that day right there, man, it made me and my dad relationship so much beyond all this shit. Right. This right here, this day here, I think this what made us the little brother, big brother relationship. He saw.
And I think that's 100% true because I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have any kids, right? And I'm 31 with no kids. But let's say, for instance, I do have kids, right? And I got a son and he's 11 years old, and we go through that situation that you just explained in terms of like, all right, son, look, we finna go to jail, but when we get in here, don't say shit. And then you stand on that as my son. I might be damn near ready to buy your BB gun too, but then I'm gonna be like, nah, because I don't want my son like even developing that type of mentality. Right. Yeah. But for him to do that, he transcended father son and went into we brothers. And because you did that for me, whatever you want, you can have because I can trust you.
Exactly.
So I know I can buy you that BB gun, and you're not finna go shoot people.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's dope as hell. And I think that's so powerful. And I think more black men should embrace that the brother aspect of it, because a lot of us, I feel like we be feeling like, and especially when we dealing with women, like women got this way of making men feel powerless.
Yeah,
they do, and they do, and we'll get into it. But I feel like the fact that, like for your dad and even for you, it wasn't. Y'all was able to create something that like can't a woman really take from you. You know what I'm saying? She can't. You know what I'm saying? And even for yourself, right? Like I feel like for you, like when you had that experience with your dad, and y'all bond like that. You grow up as a man and you tell yourself, I can have whatever the fuck I want. I don't need a woman for shit. I don't need a nigga for shit. I can go get it. I can go get it. So that's dope as hell. But like I said,
that's crazy because when I was coming up under Cuz, I saw Cuz had that mentality. So I started acting like that. Like, if Cuz can act like that, I'm going to act like that.
Yeah. For sure. But see, let me ask y'all this too, because we're going to take a break in a minute. But let me ask y'all this too. Like, because that's really important that you said, because a lot of times, bro, like we can get the wrong ideas. Sometimes people can be living their life and we be influenced by it and not even know that this might not be good for me.
Yeah,
but with him and with y'all, I feel like it wasn't that. I feel like it was all a positive influence that he had on your life
all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
And people, they know me. My real, of course, my real name is Christopher Sims. But when I hear Chris Sims from the West Side, from somebody say that, or just when I hear Chris Sims, I'm like,
go back to that. Yeah,
that's that Chris Sims that grew up under Karl Fort that people highly respect.
Right.
So man, when I say Karl Fort, that's my cousin. Or when I say Greg Fort, or when I say Helen Fort, that's fam. People eyes get big, they know what it is. So I know I come from good people, and we made an influence in this town. And I mean everything to me. When I travel this country as a poet or spoken word artist, I never say I'm from Chicago. I never say Milwaukee. I never say Madden. I'm from Rockford, Illinois, the West Side.
Yes. I know when I was in Atlanta saying Rockford, niggas like, what? Now I gotta explain, like, I'm from Chicago. They're like, huh? I'm like, fuck it, I'm from Chicago.
I feel you though, bro.
You gotta explain. You gotta.
That's how it was in the feds, man. When I was in the feds, man, I had to tell them, man, I ain't from Chicago. I'm from Rockford.
I'm from Rockford.
That's a city inside the city, man.
Exactly.
It's just now the population is dismantled, man.
It's dwindling. Rockford is losing. Illinois as a state is losing people, but Rockford for sure.
You know, as a child, right? You know, and speaking to your childhood, you know, like shit like that, like you explained earlier, like camping and going fishing and doing like little shit like that as a kid, it can really change not only your perspective but your outlook on life. And the fact that you didn't do none of those things, you was more so into the streets. How do you think that altered your path as a person? Because let me say this. I think you going camping and you going fishing, it would have put something in you to where you might have felt like, I don't gotta be in the streets. Like I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of times people get into the streets, one, because they want to, put on for themselves and get their families and shit together. But it's also like a thrill. It's also something that's fun. Right. So if you would have had those experiences like fishing or camping or whatever, that's fun. Do you think that you would have still made the same life choices?
Well, right now, the way I feel now, I don't think so. Because I might have took a liking to something.
Exactly.
That's just like growing up. I played basketball, football. I think I had a gift with my hands because I'm left-handed, but I can do things with my right hand too.
Yeah.
That's just like I say, man. Growing up, man, I believe that what got me to like look at things different is because when you gonna have stuff in your life as a kid, I'm talking about money, toys, all types of stuff. I had toys like go-karts, mini bikes. I had all that shit when I was like 12 and 13 years old.
Living right up the street from Fairgrounds.
So my thing will be like, man, all that stuff costs. Right? So you look at it now today, a lot of people, it's like that. To me, it's like that's pressure applying on, the elderly or whoever ain't in a position because, you want your kid to have everything. You don't want them to be without.
Right.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I believe that can handicap you too, to the point where you won't take responsibility as more serious than somebody giving you something.
Expand on that. Expand on that.
I'm gonna say this, right? When motherfuckers used to give me shit all the time, like with my dad, my mom, they give me money, whatever I want. Man, I need this, they give it to me, right? Right. And I think that kind of handicapped me to a certain degree because it's like, when you gonna learn responsibility, you gotta get it yourself.
Right.
So when they cut all that off, when I went to the streets, first day I said, okay, when I get this money, man, I'm stacking. I ain't giving up shit.
And that's exactly what you did, cuz, and that's how you got the You kept a fresh pair of Levi jeans and some Malcolm X Air Rays on your feet.
Right.
Yeah. So I just like, that was my whole thing, man. You gotta get it and you gotta stack it.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem came in with, us black people, we don't get the knowledge of what to do with finance when we really get it. We just go on our heart where we feel
what
like
you just
we
know,
need.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
We don't know, like, just say somebody, like, I had an individual, I was like 21. Yeah, I was 21. I just turned 21.
Right.
And I think Microsoft was coming out real tough.
Okay.
So this old head, he told me, he said, man, give me $1,000, man, so I can invest in this. And the first thing I told this old man, I say, hey, brother, this money got blood on it, man. I can't just get this money. But he was a good dude. I could have gave him $1,000. You know what? If I would have gave him $1,000, he had a $1,000 sweepstake to where if you invest $1,000 in Microsoft at this time, you'd be a millionaire.
Right.
Damn, multi-millionaire at this point. At this point, multi-millionaire.
And Microsoft has surpassed Apple.
That's what I'm saying. You'll be a multi-millionaire.
Bread it up.
Yeah, you'll be $1,000 back
And
in that time.
At this time, this brother, his name was Jimmy Shelby. He a Chrysler worker. He was working at Chrysler. So I guess they was getting shares from him. And he was like, man, you making all this money, you need to invest. But I couldn't see that far.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
I'm like, shit, I was on some instant gratification. If I give you this money, I want this back in this amount of days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at this money like this my livelihood.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't see past this.
Yeah.
Hey, cuz, so when y'all came back from Chicago with those Trailblazers with the rag tops on it, man, that was instant gratification, right?
Yeah, man, that was some instant gratification. Because I saw some, I went to Jewtown one time and I saw this dude in a blazer, right? I said, oh, I got to get me one of them.
You talking about Jewtown?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And I went, when I bought me a blazer, I went up there, man. I went to, y'all ever heard of Charlie Davidson Tops on Pulaski and Jackson?
I heard about
You heard
it.
about
Man,
that?
that man,
my dad
I
said,
know
yeah.
he rich as a mug because he used to get the business.
Damn.
Man, he did my whole blazer, man. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, when y'all came back to Rockford with them joints, man, Cass was going crazy. Like, man, look at Karl. I'm like,
And
look at
this
Karl.
before phones, so ain't nobody taking no pictures and shit. But they,
No.
yeah, so it's just so people really just like
I got a picture, but yeah, we had the phones too, man. You know, that's when phones really started coming out. The Motorola,
the brick
yeah,
phones.
I had the big one and the little one.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? Then I went to NEC, the little square one. You know what I'm saying? So,
Let me ask you this, because I think it's important that we talk about it. And let me kind of preface it a little bit before we get into it. So, like, my brother, I'm 31, and my brother was 33 years old when he passed. He just passed September 9th of 2023. He was shot and killed in Chicago. And one of the conversations that I vividly having with him on the phone was that it was a conversation just about where he was at in life and what he got going on. And he said something to me that at the time was profound. Right. And then when he ultimately passed, it just became this much bigger thing, and it's related to what you said. But what he said to me was like, bro, like, like at the time we had this conversation, he was 31, my age, and he was like, bro, like, man, like, I didn't see myself making it to 30. I never seen myself making it to 30. And he went on to talk about like how he don't really know what he need to be doing in life because he never really seen himself making it this far in 30 to 30 years old. So, I talked to him about it. I'm like, man, nah, fuck that, bro. Like, we gonna grow old together and shit. We gonna be old ass men. You gonna figure it out and shit like that. So my question and my point when we're bringing this up is that, like, for him, he didn't see a future for himself. And that's exactly what you said when it comes to when that old white man came to you and he said, hey, look, just invest $1,000 into Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? And in the future, you will have this. But you didn't see that for yourself, and that's why you didn't invest. So that's the question. Why don't black men see a future for themselves? Why is that?
Well, this is what I believe why a lot of blacks don't see a future, because when you in an environment, man, and everybody feeling on the same page, this household, they trying to figure out when they go heat go still be on or this and
Yup,
that, you know. So it ain't like, and then you know, some people, some households dysfunctional, man. You know, we all come from dysfunctional households,
Absolutely.
Right.
to
Yeah,
a certain
yeah,
degree.
yeah.
Yeah.
So going into them situations, man, it's like you got to get in survival mode. You got to think. You know, that's just like I tell individuals, man. You know, a drug dealer, man, it's like a corporation, man. You just got to know how to put the pieces together. And once you know how to put the pieces together, everything will run like a machine.
Yeah, because when I saw you with your crew and your team when I was coming up behind you, I think I was thinking then, because I've always been a pretty bright dude. When I saw you with that team back then, I was like, man, cousin from the clown, man. That's exactly what y'all did. Yeah.
But at the same time, too, though, what you saying is you had a corporation.
Yeah, so I
You
know,
was a businessman. You was like dead ass. Like you ran an organization.
Well, the right individuals, you know, because I can't give myself the credit. You know, I got to give it to the Brotherhood that believed in me, man, because when we sat down, man, we said, we're going to get this money and we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Right.
And every day we got up, we did that shit. You know,
Every
we
day.
ate,
Yeah.
we slept together, we called each other.
Around the clock.
Around the clock.
Around the
you know
clock.
what I'm saying? And these some honorable brothers, man, and I really love them, man, because, you know, they was with me, man, when we put it together. You got to look at the gang culture in Rockford was different from Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
it was
was
different.
more like structure, like in the 70s and the 80s. Like in Rockford, it was renegade. You had older heads, you know, they was getting high. They was shooting dope and all that stuff back in with the heroin and all speedballing. So
Yeah.
it was different, you know. And when I came along, I saw a difference. So I looked at what they was doing and said, no, I ain't gonna do that. If anything, I'm gonna sell that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna stick no needle in my arm because I hate needles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
know what it do to our people.
Right.
Yeah.
But do that make it wrong for me to get the needles and sell it
Sell
to
it.
the people
Yeah.
that I say is wrong?
And because all those cats that was a part of the Brotherhood, you probably knew they little brothers or they cousins. They were some of my best friends coming up.
Yeah.
So I knew them cats, and I knew they was brilliant.
So he's serving your homies.
Yeah, serving the homies too. Like
Yeah.
man, like I got a homie with the last name Horton here who. Randy is his cousin, like big cousin. So I knew all them dudes, and of course you know a black dude trying to come up. You looking at these cats like, man, I'm gonna be just like them.
Just like
man.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
But let me go back a little bit because I want to continue to touch on this topic, and I want both y'all opinions on it. I even want your opinion on it, Jay. Why don't black men see a future for themselves? I'm opening it up to the table. Whoever want to speak on it.
Let's start with you, Chris.
Yeah, one of my favorite rappers is Common. Common is a prolific poet out of the South Side of Chicago. When I say poet, I mean MC too. So Common has talked a lot about young black men not seeing 20. Well, that line is popular. So I think that some of us know, like it's inherent that we not gonna make it to 20 years old or 21. But a lot of us, on the flip side, a lot of us know we gonna make it, you know, get old, and, you know, gray beard and all of that. So I think a lot of us knowing that we gonna wind up in that gang culture or in the street, and we ain't gonna live too long. But you know, then again, on the flip side, you got young brothers that's going to colleges and universities, knowing that they're gonna have a long life. So I'm hoping that there's more of us on that side than the other side. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Karl. Can you talk about that gap that's in between? Because you got these brothers over here that's going to college and they getting the information and they, okay, I'm gonna have a future, because that's truly 100% where I'm at. And I tell him all the time, like, bro, like, yeah, we doing a podcast right now, but I also got to think about the next 40 years of my life. Like, I might live another 40 years, right? So I got to consider that. But like in my brother instance, he didn't even think he was gonna make it to 30. Where is that gap? What it like? Can you talk on the gap?
I think the gap come in between, like when they take certain heavy hitters from the streets, like people that was guiding people. You know, it might not been how they wanted to be, but you know, they was giving them morals and principles and guiding them in the right direction. Like, don't do this, the do's and don'ts. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to keep your mouth closed. So I think when they took all the people out the equation, now you got a bunch of people that, you know, they prive on the little people, you know what I'm saying? To the point where, you know, do this, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you this. And you know, a broke person do anything, man. You know, if you ain't conscious of what the fuck you doing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's why, you know, the streets the way it is today, because, you know, a lot of people been misguided to believe that, you know, ain't no rules to this shit.
Right.
There's rules to this shit.
Right.
You just can't do what you think you can do.
If I was to take, if it's okay, and we're gonna come to you with the same question, but if I was to take what you're saying and try to, like, you know, make it make sense to me, what you're saying is that because these young men are so misguided on the rules to everything, there's no way possible for them to see an end game because they already fucked up on the rules. Like, this is how you need to move. This is how this shit go, and this is ultimately how you supposed to end up. But because that structure ain't there no more, it's hard for people to see their end game or exit route or whatever. Is that what you're saying? Like, it's hard.
Right. Because see, like with me, and I could use me for example, I didn't see no exit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think I was gonna be 21.
That's what I'm saying. So you just hit it right on the head.
So, you know, I understand.
Yeah.
You know, but do I agree with it? No, because, you know, I know now you know, I did more time locked up as a first time offender than I've been on earth.
Say that again. For the can you?
That's the truth.
Can you say that to the camera, bro?
I've been in the United States federal prisons more than I've been on earth.
Damn. Yeah, that hit hard right there.
Yeah, that's heavy, man.
Yeah. That is.
Yeah.
So, and the first time offended it. So, but going back to the future, you know what I'm saying? Now, by me being resurrected, you know, from wherever I came from, you know, I see it different now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, I try to get, you know, it's just like you got a lot of dudes now. You might can't, somebody that won't go to jail, you can't tell them nothing. But you might catch somebody that ain't never went to jail, but he curious. But he on the fence. If you recognize that, you supposed to pull him up and
exactly.
no, that
ain't where you want to go. Yeah. That's not where you want to go.
No, do something you love, man. What you love doing, man.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
You know, that's just like, you know, a lot of little dudes, they be like, man, how you do this? How you do this? I say, easy, I applied myself.
Period. Right.
But it took practice and it took reinforcement. And the reinforcement comes from the people that you associate with.
Right, yeah.
You know, so how can I be this man and did nobody groom me for this?
Right, yeah.
That's heavy too.
Yeah.
Because and
I got groomed for this.
Yeah.
This lifestyle that I was groomed before I even came off the porch.
Let me ask you this, because you getting into some shit, bro. Let me ask you this. Do you think a lot of these youngsters are being groomed for the street life shit, and that's why they choose that route? Because that's what I see. I feel like niggas are picking a lifestyle that they are used to. It's not like young niggas are growing up and they experiencing the streets or whatever, and then they like, all right, I want to go be a doctor. Like, no, you was groomed to be a street nigga. This is what you know. This is all you've seen your whole life.
Pretty much grooming.
I think
it is. I don't think so.
I think it is grooming.
Product of your environment. Like the environment where you in, I think that really hold weight to your character.
Yeah, I don't think it's grooming.
You know, because I'm like this, man. You know, I got met kids and people when I was growing up from the north side, more white people and stuff like that. I'm talking about like Northwest, out that way, you know. And I rotate with them nowadays as we got older, man. And I look, they got construction companies and all this. But see, you got to understand, even though they was bad kids, but they parents steal something in them. And they had that support system.
Right.
See, we don't got the support system, not because our family don't know how. It's because they be focusing on so many things in the household to where these people over here, they ain't got to focus on them.
Right, for sure. Yep.
You know what's interesting, cause you know, and I've been in the news lately, and I'm thankful for that because Rockford is all in me. I've been getting messages in my inbox on Facebook. And this woman hit me up yesterday. Black woman said, "I got 3 grandsons, grandboys. Can you help? Do you have a program?" Or she asked me to have a program so that they can go and attend the program. I told her, no, I don't have a program, but I hooked her up with Booker Washington Community Center because I know how important it is to have that support system, not only from her but the community. So I'm glad I was able to do that.
And it's dope because again, it goes back to what he was saying, and it goes back to the topic that we're speaking on right now. Because what Karl just said, like, it's not necessarily you being groomed for a certain lifestyle, but you more so of a product of your environment, right? So in your case, what you're speaking to is a woman hit you up and she realized the same thing we're talking about, that if I don't get my grandkids around positive black men, then they too will also become a product of their environment. Same way my brother did. He became a product of his environment, and he felt like he had to live a certain lifestyle because he was a product of the environment, and it led to his demise. So what you're saying is that, like, somebody hit you up and said, like, look, I don't want my kids to be like that. Do you have something going on to where I can help my kids be in, or get my grandkids into a better environment? So I think that's what both of y'all saying. It's more so of the environment, more so than anything.
Yeah, because when you a youngster and you grow up in the hood or whatever,
sucking everything up.
You just looking at what's around
sucking
you,
everything up.
and you see the niggas with the nice rims, the nice cars, the bad girls, this and that. You like, shit, I want them. You ain't really looking at no doctor because the doctor ain't showing you nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you fascinated with the glitz and glamour. You don't know what's behind it, and then you find out what's behind it. You not thinking like the future wise. You thinking like, shit, I got it now.
Yeah, I know.
That's an instant gratification.
I got it now.
You know, and that instant gratification piece, I always thought that was something that, like, the younger generation, I always thought that was something that was new.
That's a trace.
I ain't know that part of it. That, like, they go deeper than just like young niggas, like, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of makes sense because, you know, when you think about fast money,
that's addiction. That's all it is. That ain't nothing but addiction, man.
Fast money. It's all about instant gratification.
It is.
And you got to think too, like, kids, like, especially in high school, they think about college. You know, college is like 4-6 years to get whatever you need to get. Versus I could get it now.
Right now, today.
And I, you know, a lot of young niggas will choose now instead of later because you got to think like, damn, I got to do all this work, all this time. Ooh, when I could just go holler at my homeboy
and I be put on.
I'm gone. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about Rockford and the version of Rockford that y'all experienced, right? In terms of the street life and gangs and crime and shit like that. So correct me if I'm wrong, right? But you were, and if you still are now, whatever, you correct me. But you were in the past a former member of the Gangster Disciples.
Yep.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, you know, growing up on the west side, you know, that's my dominant Disciples area, you know.
Right.
Well, for real, growing up, it wasn't really hardly no vice lords and all this other different fractures and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, we was a majority, man.
It was the GDs.
And back then it was more structured, you know what I'm saying?
Back then, we talking about the 90s.
Talking about the 80s.
Okay.
80s?
Okay.
Early 80s.
Okay.
And you know what, cuz? You know what?
Oh, hold on. Let me just say this, man. I got a brother, man, named Shorty Ruff, Nate Nevlis, man.
Oh, yeah.
He just passed away, man.
Rest in peace.
I want to
R.I.P.
Yeah,
thank
R.I.P.,
his
man. R.I.P.
duties, man, and his responsibility as a brother of the struggle, man. He put a lot of work in, man, to get us where we at today, man. And I want to pay my homage to him, man, because
Can you mention his name again?
his name, we call him Shorty Ruff.
Shorty
but
Ruff.
his real name is Nate Nevlis.
Okay. For sure. Yeah, you got to make sure you state that.
The brother, man, he really, man, put that work in, man, to build the organization where is it today, you know. And
Rockford
I wanna pay
legendary.
homage to him, man, because he was a rider, man.
For sure. For sure.
You know, he was inspiring to me, man. He was a little older than me, man, but, you know, I rock with him, man.
For sure.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got a chance to see him, man, before he passed. You know, so.
Yo, cuz, you know maybe my big brother Lance, he's older than us.
Yeah.
He told me that there was some Black Panthers on the west side of Rockford back in
Yeah,
the day.
it was.
Talk about that.
Yeah,
Black Panthers out here.
Yeah. It was the old man. He stayed up there on Pier Point in Preston. And he was a good dude. He used to sell fruits and stuff.
What, that little church up there on the corner?
Yeah, right.
Man, I didn't know that was a Black Panther.
Yeah, that was like a little headquarters.
Yeah,
right
I ain't
there.
know that.
That was a headquarters.
Yeah,
It's a church now, though.
That part I didn't know, cuz.
It's a church now.
They used to go over there and be doing underground stuff, like people be thinking it's a church, but that's where they used to have their little meetings at.
Word? That's crazy.
I didn't even know that.
So
man.
the
You want to go over there and knock on the door now.
so the Panthers had an influence and an impact on Rockford.
Yeah, because they used to give away, breakfast and stuff down at Concord.
And Lance remember them free breakfasts, cuz.
Yeah. I remember that.
Damn,
Too.
that's crazy. I ain't know that.
Let's go back though, because my brother, again, like I mentioned before, his name was Ahmad. We called him Ahmad. And like I say, he passed in September, but he was like a heavy, big time GD, and that's why, like, for me, when we first encountered you, and I started to do my research on your story, and I learned that you was also a former member of the Gangster Disciples. Like, for me, it touched me in a way because it's like that's the same group or that my brother and for me
identify with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me not to be a street nigga, if I was a street nigga, I wouldn't have no choice but to be a GD. And I mean, like, so for me, I wanna like, what is it about them GDs that make y'all into who y'all are?
Well, I think, man, it's the literature, man. The literature, man, teaches us, man, we're a special group of people, man, with integrity and dignity, man. Right. So, that means a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand it, you'll understand it sooner or later because you'll know what you're about. You know?
Right.
And, when I look at that today, man, I try to carry it in the highest standard, man, because that's what it is, man.
And you and I talked about colleges and universities.
Yeah.
What he just said reminds me of what you learned about fraternities.
Yeah.
The literature.
That's what I think.
Because I'm a part of a fraternity.
Dope, bro.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, I am Omega Psi Phi, Q Dog, whatever you want to call it.
Q Dog?
Yeah. Shout out to the Qs, man. Shout out to the Qs. But speaking to that point, I'm happy you brought that up because I do see a lot of similarities, right? I wasn't a street nigga, but my brother was, so I lived vicariously through him. I seen what it was for him.
Yeah.
And it's so many similarities. And honestly, to be real with y'all, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I tell this to the audience, I tell this to anybody. Fraternities ain't nothing but organized gangs, bro. That's all it is.
No.
Organized,
you gotta
like
take the gang out the equation, right? Because see, when they look at that, they always think we're disorganized.
Violence and trouble.
We're structured, just like the government. They are structured. So we structured, and black people, we always had structures in our household because I know growing up, when my parents leave the house, I ain't had no babysitter. I ain't had nobody come stare down. What they tell me? You better not open that motherfucking door for nobody.
That's good.
So I stand there and watch TV.
I think every black child heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't had nobody come babysit me.
Yeah.
No, you stay in that damn house, you better not open that door.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned.
Yeah.
That's a structure.
Absolutely. And one thing that I just, and please, like, forgive me, right? If I sound like a fucking moron, just forgive me because again,
how you feel like you sound like
because I don't want to speak on nothing that I don't know about, but at the same time, I want to bring up the parts that I kind of do know about, and I want to get y'all in your perspective. I want you to educate me on it, right, and make me better on the topic.
Yeah.
But one thing I know for sure about the GDs and the Gangster Disciples, right? It's Gangster Disciple, but it's also growth and development.
Oh, that's what it's
Can you speak on the Gangster Disciple part of it, which is what the world kind of gets, but then also that other aspect of it that's not well known, the growth and development? Because when you think GD and you think Gangster Disciple, you think gangster shit. But then when you hear growth and development, that changes your whole perspective on what.
Yeah, I don't know because like my family, my uncle and stuff, GD, and me, and my brothers was GDs except for one of them, he breed, but. my uncle used to tell me like back in the day, Gangster Disciple wasn't like how motherfuckers think. It was more like community shit,
growth and development.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to ask you. It wasn't growth and development just yet, but back then it was like
they
community.
was a voice for the community.
Yeah,
okay.
I just said,
yeah, that's why I was gonna ask you.
They're fucking with the people. They used to be the voice for the community.
Yeah.
It just started up when they was bringing all this crack over here.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, not crack, but cocaine.
Yeah.
Because putting it in our
Yeah.
community. Because that tore down the whole structure now.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, it's a different structure.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a negative structure now.
Okay.
And the negative structure is now, we don't have no planes or no ships to bring this shit over.
Right.
But this is what I don't understand, the bigger structure.
Right.
If you can detect a cigar from coming over here from Cuba, why you can't stop it?
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? You can stop what you want to stop. You're stopping these brothers that's different colors trying to come over here and live the good life.
Right.
But this stuff,
That's destroying
let go.
people.
Right, yeah.
That's destroying
Yeah.
communities. In fact, you just let that ride.
Let it
you let
go.
that
Right.
ride because they profiting off of it.
Right.
On the front end and the back end.
Yeah.
There's so many ways I
that's
can
true,
take
though.
this
That's
conversation,
true.
but I want to stay on
true.
track because we can talk about that. We can talk about it because I'm telling you, because they do pick and choose, and it's a reason why they. And it's all for the demise of the black people. But like I said, we'll leave that alone for a little bit because I want to get back and I want to stay on track with the Gangster Disciples, right? Let me ask you, how did you get introduced to the GDs and what made you ultimately decide to become a part of it?
Yeah, and also let me add on: was you a part of the community help part of it?
Right.
Like, you know, protecting the community, and you know,
or was you more so in it because I need?
Well, we was in it for our needs too, right?
Right.
Right.
At the same time, as we got educated more, because you got to look at.
How'd you get introduced to it first?
Oh well, I had mostly family members there. You know, I said shit. That was in my neighborhood. That's what I am.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
So
right.
Fairgrounds was GDs at first.
Fairgrounds.
Yeah, all the
Damn,
west
that's
side.
great.
West
All-
side,
the whole west
The
side?
whole West Side.
Damn, for real?
All
that-
GDs.
Rockford was
All
GDs.
GDs.
Yeah, what?
Crazy,
You
man.
had a small amount of people under the fire, which
Yeah.
is vice.
Right, yeah.
They didn't have
That's
no
where Fairgrounds
phones
at
and
now.
all that. You know, it was when I was growing up, it was one stone here from Chicago. His name was Iwatha Green.
Damn.
Iwatha Green.
Yeah.
And I met him in the county jail.
Wow.
That's how I found out about the RICO.
Okay.
And then when I caught my Fed case, that's how I really found out.
Right.
Because they thought I was related to them.
Right. Damn. Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my big brother Lance.
Are you gang affiliated at all?
Nah, never been, but people thought it was because I was hanging around with
Might as
cats.
well, yeah. Might as well.
I got a brother named. He's not my real brother, but he's my friend. I call him my brother Antar. Me and him hung around gang affiliated cats. We would be out in the parking lot at Auburn High School, you know, just hanging, waiting for the girls to come out or whatever. So me and Antar was with our homies. I was gang affiliated, but we never was, man. We was in the books and we went off to college in Mississippi. But, you know, people thought they can think what they want to think, but yeah, we was.
But at the end of the day, it's all about me and my life,
yeah,
and
for
what I
sure,
owe,
for
like,
sure.
and that's another thing that we can touch on because I ain't lying to you, man. I don't go. I do. Like, I'm human like everybody else, but at the same time, like, this is my life, bro. Like, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not gonna do certain shit because. I got like it's my life, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't gotta do that shit. Like y'all could do that shit. I ain't gonna judge you, y'all my homies, whatever. But I'm not.
And our homies knew we weren't gang affiliated, so they would actually protect us. Like, you know, we gonna do this or we gonna do that. Y'all chill out. Man.
exactly.
And that brings back to what I was asking them. Like, you was a part of like community protection, providing lunch, dinners, and shit for people and stuff like that. Or?
Well, we didn't do it like they did it. How we did it was we started our own stuff, like, you know, like all the parks where we used to do, like on the weekend, we have the young and the old play basketball or baseball.
Oh, yeah.
together. Then we have all the SOS sisters. They come out there and cook the food, like the
SOS
sides.
sisters?
Yeah, explain it. What's that?
Yeah.
What is it?
The sisters of the struggle. You know, you
Oh
had-
yeah.
Oh,
right.
okay. Yeah.
They was GD too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah, because that's what they called them back then.
They still around today?
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of them still around.
BOS brothers.
They, you know, but they outgrew, you know, that part of it. They grown now.
right,
yeah.
Family and
Yeah.
stuff. So.
So y'all pretty much was like family down there on the
Yeah,
west
it's
side.
family, man.
Man,
You know, and
love.
you know, I
Damn.
learned that, man. Unity, man, is love, man. That's That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
You just got to take all the BS out the
Right,
equation.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yup,
saying,
yup.
man? And a lot of people don't know how to do that because they got so much larcening in their heart,
Right.
man. To do, they see everything
As a
game.
issue.
So
as an issue.
you pretty much seen the unity split into division.
Yeah, yeah. I done saw it all, man. I done saw the ugly and the bad and the good. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so take us from here. About what age were you when you got gang affiliated?
Yeah.
I was 13 when we was up at Sunset Park. Cause see, let me go back.
Okay.
When we was in grade school and middle school, like
Yeah.
I was going to Kennedy out here. So we had our own shit called the West Side Warriors.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
I think I heard it there though. My dad he be
wreck.
telling me
I
about
remember
And
that.
we used to wreck. We used to wreck people.
The West Side
man.
Warriors?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
West Side Warriors, man.
Man,
And, you know,
Yeah.
all of us became GDs. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? When you know a lot of the old, like I was telling you, may the brother rest in peace, Shorty Ruff.
Shorty Ruff.
You know they was just now coming home from the joint and stuff like that, so
Right.
they was putting the structure together. You know what I'm saying? So at first we was beefing with a lot of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they were trying to like dictate where we come at a meeting and all this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We like, nah, we over here.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I started getting out in the streets, you know, a lot of the old heads that was there, they were like, oh, man, look, man, you got to do this like this, man. Just make sure you do this like this, man. Get them brothers together, man. You know, this your time now, man. You got to do this like this. You know, a lot of old heads was coming home. They just want to relax and see some money flowing around.
Yeah.
Because they were like, dang, y'all niggas out here shooting niggas, robbing and doing this and that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to start doing it like this.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, that's what we started doing, you know, start hustling. Then, you know, it's crazy because the police, when we was gang banging with each other, you know, fighting this shit, they weren't even caring about that shit. But soon we started
at
getting
all.
some money, man, you know, it was like all eyes on us.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. That's key.
Yeah.
So you say when y'all shooting and fighting, but y'all broke as fuck. Police don't give a shit.
No, they don't
But when you start getting some money,
now they want to watch, monitor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They want to monitor. Surveillance.
so let me put it this way. So when niggas is killing each other, that ain't a problem. But when niggas is getting money,
It's a problem.
that's a problem.
It's a problem.
So why you think that is though?
Yeah.
Because now you don't know what they gonna do with that money.
Oh damn. Okay.
You know, you can be buying weapons. You can be buying all
Yeah,
types of stuff,
yeah,
information.
yeah.
You can buy all type of stuff.
Yeah.
You got money, you can dictate the course.
Right.
You ain't got no money, you can't dictate shit.
Was that part of the allure of joining the GDs? That like I can get some money with these.
No,
niggas?
I just look when I was growing up, man, I was just so fascinated with. I go outside, I see the brothers together. You know what I'm saying? You know they drinking together. You know,
Having fun.
going to house parties together. You know, we mobbing out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's-
So that was like instant gratification.
Yeah, like having fun and shit.
Okay, yeah.
I wrote a poem called Leroy and Them, and I was thinking about Karl and them, my big brothers joining gangs,
Yeah.
and all that, and then what that turned out to, and what it turned black men into. Yeah.
So
And I recited that poem, even in not only in Rockford but in different places, just to give people an understanding of what it's like when you live in the hood and you go through struggle. And you know what happened.
yeah, but I'm happy you mentioned that because I want to ask you this question about that. So you said you wrote a poem about the lives and the decisions that people around you were making. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna ask you to recite the poem, but I will ask you, what was it that you saw? You know what I'm saying? Like, because
He do.
It just
yeah,
relax me, man.
no, I definitely smoke, but I want to get this question out before anything because I think that's important, and I think a lot of like I put it like this. Me and him are more alike than you and I are alike. And in terms of the lives that we pick,
Right.
he went off to college. I went off to college. My brother chose the streets. My brother was a GD. My brother ultimately lost his life to this shit. My brother he didn't get to your level selling crack cocaine, but he sell his little packs. And he made a life and a living for himself and for his family. He put his kids and his girl in the house. that he paid for. Them kids had everything they ever could have asked for. You know, and he did that with street money. But then you get to guys like me and him, and we got the same goals. I want to put my kids and my wife or whatever in the house. I want to be able to take care. I want my kids to have whatever they want to have, right? Right. So my question is that if we both got the same goals, right? What is it that ultimately make us make our decisions? Is it truly just like y'all said, the environments that we in? Yeah. And even if it's the environments, if he came from the same environment as you, then why the decisions are so
you gotta think it's different generations though.
Yeah,
he older,
but not by that much though.
Not
by that much. But you think
5 years older, than
right?
Yeah, but really 10 years older than him.
What you mean by that?
Because I came off the porch from the house. I really didn't come off no porch. You know,
right.
All the principles and morals that I gathered was in my household.
Exactly.
Was in our household. But what I think happened to me, I became more spontaneous and jumped off the porch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Feel like, okay, I'm the streets now.
Yeah.
Because I got these people with me. I got these people with
right.
me.
So was it a matter of, and I'm going kind of deep with this now, in terms of, and you and I talked about mental health and shit like that. Was it a matter of you feeling so accepted by a particular group of people to where you like, this one I'm gonna go with no matter what?
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's like this, man. If I come into a room and I observe everybody in the room and listen and watch, I'm gonna know everything I need to know about that individual.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So I know his weakness.
Right.
Okay. Because he talking about it. Oh, I'm broke.
Right.
So I tell him this, man, I'm gonna give you $10,000, man. And I want you to do this for 3 days. Do you know that dude go do that for 3 days because he needs some money?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I see
we
what you're
all
saying.
cry out
I see what
for
you're
help.
saying. I see what you're
Cry out
saying.
for help in different ways.
In different ways.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it.
You
That's
might
it right
cry
there.
out because, damn, you feeling lonely. I might cry out because I'm frustrated. He might cry out because he wants something that he can't get.
Yeah.
You never know till you talk to the person, build with the person. That's just like us, this podcast. Y'all might not think it ain't helping nobody, but believe me, man, there's some white mug out there that's biting this. You know why? Because they can take this and use this as a curriculum.
Wow.
I don't want the people acting like this.
Right.
These are the type of people we want.
Right.
Now, you gonna have the people out searching for people like us.
Damn.
But this is where the problem come in at. They might want our services, but they don't want to pay us what we worth.
Right, that's the problem.
Damn.
Yeah.
Or we might give them an order they can't refuse.
Right.
You know? So I try to stay with my own kind and build my own kind up because I know we go through more than anybody on earth.
Right. True. Yeah.
And because, you know, I'm realizing this, I'm definitely glad. I think I said it before, that I'm glad to be in this podcast with you, this interview. One thing that I've noticed, even when I wasn't in Rockford, I'd have been somewhere else, maybe even in college, communicating with you. How I see me and you are a lot alike. We have real conversations with people and we listen to people.
Right.
And that when you listen to people,
You absorb information.
oh man,
It changes.
Yeah.
I said it the other day, and I might have said it to you, Carl, but I said information changes situations.
Yeah.
It really do.
Yeah.
I think that's important, and that's kind of what I was getting at when I was speaking on the, you know, because when you go to college, you get information, but when you're in the streets, you also get information, and both of them are valuable.
Very, yeah,
Because, and I'll tell you why, because the life you lived and how you built yourself as a man and the information you have may be something that I need, because I tell you this, I couldn't go in the streets and I just couldn't. I would need a nigga like you to be in the streets with me, but then we would turn around and say, for instance, Karl say, all right, I want to go and start me an LLC, I want to get me a biz, I want to put on that suit and tie, I want to be.
Yeah.
you probably couldn't do that. But I could. You see what I'm saying? But I couldn't flip it and come to the streets and make a way for myself. But you can. So that's what I'm really trying to get at. It's the difference in niggas, right? But we all got the same goal. We all want to see our family eat. We all want some money. We all want just some peace, right? We want to chill. But we go about it in different ways. And that's why I'm getting back to my question. Like, you chose college. You chose the streets.
Right.
Why?
The reason why I chose the streets, man, because it was like this, man. I saw a much bigger opportunity, man, when it was presented to me. And I mean, an opportunity to whereas, man, you can run this whole city if you want to, man. You know why? Because you know people.
Right.
When you know people, you can get shit done.
Right. That's a fact.
And cuz I probably should have saw it, but when y'all started to blow up like that, I was like, man, I ain't expect cuz them to blow up like that, man.
Look, man,
exactly.
I was getting, look, this no lie. I was getting jackets from Rap-A-Lot Records, Reality Records. Who else? They were just sending us jackets. We go down to Miami, kick it. They were like, man, we like y'all because we would stick together.
Yeah.
You know, man, that's why I say unity is important, man.
Yeah.
It's the strength of our nature, man.
Yeah. Right.
And if everybody, man, just understand that, man, we can accomplish a lot, man.
Anything,
in
man.
one day, man.
Yeah.
Right.
In one day.
Yep. Right.
And we hear people in Rockford talking about the disunification, especially amongst us black people, when we got it right here. And ain't no phoniness and falseness about unity. It is what it is. So we just have to do it, man.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. So
and like with me though, I'm a little, grew up in the streets, but I also went to college too. Yeah. So I'm like, like with me, how I look at the world is, I know how the streets is. I know how them white people could get over you and own you and shit like that. And sometimes me being from the streets, I snap like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I brought my mans on for the podcast, because I'm like, I can relate to each and one of y'all. At the same time, I don't know the big words. I don't know how to articulate a sentence correctly. You know what I'm saying? Because I still got that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I brought him on.
They say, "Oh, y'all still rough around the edge."
Rough around the edges. But that's what I was getting at. But see, here's where the good comes out of all of that, right? And this is for you guys watching, right?
Yeah.
So, like you said, right, you might know some street shit or whatever. You might know a little college shit, but you might know the words or whatever.
Right, for sure.
But you know the game.
Yeah, for sure.
You know the game.
Yeah.
Or you can recognize it.
Yeah, I can recognize it.
You can recognize the game. But then you need somebody to be, like you say, be able to articulate it and be able to put it in a way to where my message gets across.
For sure.
So I think that's the good in all of this. I think the street niggas should be collabing with the college niggas because it's the street niggas who got the real fucking story. It's the street niggas that people fucking respect. Niggas don't respect niggas that go to college.
Hey, let me tell y'all this.
So we need y'all niggas.
Yeah. You want me to tell y'all something so unique? This is what I learned, man, since I've been home. The roles been changed out here in society. You got the rappers want to be street dudes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And then you got the street dudes want to be rappers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I thought about that. I said, dang, this is what I need to feed my family and the community. Oh, I could do this. If you had the resources to do what you want to do, man, that would make us
great.
A special group of people.
Yeah, it makes us great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because we got the resources and we not using the resources for personal gain. We using the resources to build our community.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, a person told me this the other day, right? They said, Karl, if somebody give you $1 million right now today, what you would do? I said, $1 million? I said, shit, I'll build my motherfucking community up, man.
For sure.
So they say, what if they give you $10.5 million? I said, this is what I'll do with $10.5 million. I say, what I would do with $10.5 million, I'd take $6 million, right? I would build a state-of-the-art in the poorest community in Rockford, Illinois. Build a homeless shelter, projects, but not this.
Not the ghetto.
Not systematic.
Like Concord.
But
like that.
low income housing.
Yeah, no low income shit. This gonna be normal housing. So for had a space.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
You know, so that's just like you got 3 kids. Everybody can go in their area and stay solitude.
Right.
See, us black people don't get enough solitude.
Oh,
You think so?
Yeah. I feel break something down to you. I got a challenge for every black community. I don't give a damn if you went to jail or not, or when you went to college. Stay in the bathroom for 24 hours.
By yourself.
By yourself.
With no phone.
With no phone. Like, just say if you go in the bathroom, you lock yourself in, just stay in there for 24 hours. See how you feel. I think you appreciate that more than
I see what you're saying.
like this.
I see what you're saying because let's say for instance I do live in the poorest fucking community in Rockford, right? And I take your challenge and I go into that bathroom for 24 hours. I can almost guarantee that by the time I come out of that bathroom, I'm going to appreciate my little 1-bedroom with roaches and rats and all that goofy shit. I'm going to appreciate it so much.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And all of that, but then it also, when you sit in that, and that's one thing too that I really appreciate about psychology, right? I think a lot of psychology is you dealing with your own thoughts. So when you sit in that bathroom like that for 24 hours, you ain't got no choice but to deal with your own thoughts. But I guarantee when you come out of it, you gonna have a plan, some kind of plan.
Yeah, for sure.
You gonna have something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you gonna have something. To go off of and build your life off of.
Yeah.
So I think that's a dope ass idea. But speaking to that, because you say 24 hours, how about 25 years?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Well, man, I think what really helped me, man, to do my bit is, number one, I was around some old heads that taught me the game. They, like, when I first came in, they was like doing 15 and 20 years.
How old was you when you went in?
25.
What you got out about 47, 48?
Huh?
When you get out about 47, 48 years old?
No. I got out when I was 51.
Damn.
And you went in 25 clueless, or did you have
I went in when I was 24.
24?
Yeah.
And you had an understanding how shit went, or you didn't?
Yeah, I mean, MCC go groom you anyway. Before you get there. You go to MCC.
Right.
What can you break down that abbreviation?
Yeah, so for people that don't know.
MCC mean Metropolitan Correctional Center. It's on Van Buren, 71 West Van Buren.
Yeah.
That bitch
Chicago, Illinois.
Damn.
I know that.
And what is it? What is it like? Describe it for the people. What is
it?
It's
a federal detention center. Like I'm from Rockford, right? So they sent me there, but they sent all my other co-defendants to a contract jail, Rock County Jail in Wisconsin.
Right.
And I think they was doing that because they want to break certain individuals, break me.
Right.
Because, when I got to MCC, they ain't put me in general population.
Put you in the hole.
They put me in the hole and put me way in the back.
Damn.
And we're gonna speak on that. We're gonna speak on that too because I know you did a lot of fighting with the. We was talking about what judges approved this shit.
Right,
like why this nigga even in the hole?
Yeah.
But they didn't even know. Like so, we're gonna talk about that. But let's stick on where we at on the topic in terms of because again going back to your challenge, you say he's challenging the black community to take yourself as a free, law-abiding citizen and to go in your own home one day and lock yourself in the bathroom, no phone, no outside communication with nobody, and just sit in that bathroom for 24 hours and then see how you come out afterwards, right? Now, most law-abiding citizens who's never been to prison, right? They're gonna be like, what the fuck, right? But see, here's the kicker, right? And this is why your story is so important, why you are so important. Most of us couldn't sit in the bathroom for 24 hours.
Hell no.
You sat in the cell for 25 years. Talk about that, man.
Man, it was a struggle, man. I had my ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, man, you know, a lot of old heads, you know, they was around, so they teaching me how to program. Like, man, you know, you gotta come in there, man. You gotta study about your case, man, because these people. My sentence said deceased. I ain't had no number or nothing like that. It said deceased on my sentence computation.
Damn,
for real.
Deceased, man.
Damn.
So even the fucking federal government counted you as a dead man.
I was a dead man.
You a dead man.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
It said deceased, man. You don't believe me? Look it up. I had life without no parole, man.
Damn.
They abolished the parole system. Only person to get the parole is a federal DC prisoner or a military prisoner.
Damn.
Wow, that's crazy.
Damn.
Was it because of your charges?
No, that's just how the system was. The federal system was.
Oh, okay.
They did have federal parole, but they abolished it in '88 when they came out with that crime bill. That Bill Clinton, the Democrats.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's what I say, man.
So you was 25 and you seen deceased on your stuff. How did that feel?
Yeah, how that make you feel? And that's what I was asking
Man,
you too.
I was just living, man. Look.
Go back to those feelings and those emotions, man. Because I think now
Hey, you know
this
what?
is.
I mean, you know, I was bitter. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was bitter. You know what I'm saying? That part, I was bitter.
Who you mad at? The system.
The system, man, because you know, I'm telling my mom, you know, every time I talk to her, I said, man, y'all still paying taxes. These motherfuckers got us locked up in this shit old ass spot. You know what I'm saying? You know, people don't realize, man, the government is cold, man. They know how to manipulate you. They got scientists, man. They know how to experiment with you and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So look at that as an organization.
Right.
That's not no company, man.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a secret society.
And then it's you against them.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just you.
Look, on my thing
your
it
case,
say Karl fought against
The United States of America.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's unfair,
It's
right
me
there.
against the
Yeah.
entire country.
Yeah,
like,
that's unfair right there.
And all that, but that shit is intimidating like a motherfucker.
Man, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Man. It's diabolical.
It's diabolical.
It's way bigger than me versus everybody. That ain't shit. When you compare it to me versus the United States of America,
Government,
what can you do with that, man?
Because when you think about it, it's other countries that and they can't do shit with America. So what the fuck I think I'm gonna do with America, bro?
right.
Like all these
Like
other
yourself.
countries who are other countries like America. It's just me, right? But when we talking about the United States, it's a country, and it's other countries who's
Just you know, when I first got to Leavenworth, you know, Leavenworth was, you know, that's where all the heavy hitters went to.
what is that?
Leavenworth, Kansas.
And that's a prison, right?
Yeah, that's
Federal
the
prison.
United States federal penitentiary.
Name,
Yeah.
hey, cuz, name some of the people that was there when you went or that you knew about, cuz.
Well, I know a lot of old Italians like Taco. He from Chicago. He was a heavy hitter. Then you had a lot of the New York mafia dudes, one out of Philly, and then
Straight up?
yeah, you know that's what Capone was at.
Oh, for real?
Oh, he did go to Leavenworth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leavenworth was the shit.
Yeah.
They had the top psychiatrists there. Boy, you go there, man, they be playing mind games with you.
Yeah.
Man, that shit was a mental and psychological warfare, man.
Damn,
Can you give us some stories? Give us some details. Like give us some of
Like
the.
when I first got there, right? That's the first day I got there, right? They say, walk on the yellow brick road. You better not move. You get an incident report and go to the dungeon.
Wow.
Damn.
So they had like 3 or 4 different holes, man.
Damn.
Straight up, cuz?
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Because see, back then, when Capone them, they used to bring them through the train.
Yeah.
You had that one in Alcatraz.
Right.
They'd bring them through the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Make sure
they
nobody
still
gets
had
in.
all that shit set up there. You know
Yeah,
what
for
I'm
real?
saying? Yeah,
Damn.
they had the most dungeon ass holes down
Yeah.
there that you got one light in there. And
That's
shit.
crazy.
So
So
they
it's like
still-
brick walls then.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was the first joint. I did 5 years there, and then you know, they built a new one out here in Florence, Colorado, Super Mac.
Right.
I stayed out there for 3 years, you know.
Straight.
And that motherfucker was like, man, that's like the worst of the worst. You send all the disciplinaries there, but this the catch. You ain't got to be no disciplinary to go there. You can go there on the close supervision. They
Damn.
probably don't like you.
Right.
Hey, cuz, when me and you first started rapping, when you was locked up, where was you at then?
Leavenworth.
You was at Leavenworth. Oh, okay.
You did 5 years there.
Yeah.
Damn, that's horrible, huh?
Anybody you meet there that really like changed your life or changed your perspective on life?
I mean, when I got in there, man, I was fucked up, man. My understanding was zero because I'm like, damn, man. But when I got in there and started seeing other motherfuckers with life sentences, they had 6, 7 life sentences and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like, crazy.
Damn, but we was the youngest ones,
Right.
And then, like everybody on Larry Hoover case, like Crush and them and all them, they was young too.
Oh, they was there?
Yeah.
Straight up, cuz?
Yeah.
So let me, because I want to get into that, but let me again preference it a little bit, right? So Karl Ford was essentially indicted and essentially convicted of conspiracy of
the
distribution of crack cocaine
and powder cocaine.
Now, at this time in the early 90s, mid 80s, when Rick Ross, he did his thing and brought all this shit, you know what I'm saying, into the country, and during this whole crack epidemic, right? This was a time to where the laws in the United States were different, and they were much more crucial and much more harsh and much more
racist,
unforgiving, and much more race. Exactly. I'm trying to use all these different words, but that's really what it is in the simplest form.
Right.
So the laws at the time was much more racist and against the black people. So what they did was they changed the laws in 2010, but before 2010, if you were caught with 1 gram of crack cocaine, they equated that to 100 grams of powder cocaine, right?
Yeah, that's
crazy. Now, me and Karl talked a little bit, and even before Karl and I talked a little bit, I did my research, and to be honest with you, the only difference between powder cocaine and crack cocaine is the fact that you cook it with baking soda in the pot. That's literally the only difference. You add, and the reason why you do it is because you want to harden it, right? You want it more of a rock than the actual powder. Yeah, exactly. Now, what Karl told me is that honestly, the actual cocaine that's being manufactured is actually already it contains
baking soda in it.
Soda in it,
right?
From over in them other countries because they got to form it up. It be in the cocoa leaf.
Exactly.
And I learned that from the foreigners from over there that that's over here.
That puts you on game with it. Mm-hmm. Now follow me. I need y'all to follow me, right? Because what we're saying is that in the United States, crack cocaine and cocaine to the United States were 2 totally different things. But when you really look at the facts of it, right?
The ingredients.
Right, exactly. When you really look at the facts of it, right? You go past all that political shit. You go past all of the facts of it is that it's the same thing. The only difference is who's in possession of what.
Right.
That's the only difference.
So let me ask Karl real quick.
Hold on.
I want to have him break it down. How do you get the powder form to the hard form? What's the can you tell us what's the difference, or if it is any difference in it? What do you like?
It's just a matter of you cooking it.
Yeah, but is it just cooking it, or is it adding something else to it to make it what it is, so that to make it different from the powder to the hard? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't no different. Only thing you gotta do is add baking soda, But a lot of people might say, well, okay, I'm gonna put B12 on there to stretch it. That's all that doing is blowing it out.
Big, cutting it. Yeah,
and that's really basically that is. But when it come over here, it already be like paste. It be paste. When they be making it be paste. They like a track. They roll on it with big bulldozers, man.
Right.
And they sprinkle that baking soda, which is not the baking soda that be buying out the store. I think it's another kind of
okay.
baking soda.
Right.
Put it on there and it formulate it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So once it get over here, we put baking soda and lose it potent. But it still rock up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I'm happy you asked that question because that helps the audience, again, further understand it. It really ain't no difference. The only difference is who's in possession.
Right, for sure.
Who's in possession of it. Now, with that being said, like I was saying, if you were caught back at this time, before 2010, if you were caught with 1 gram of crack cocaine, they was equating that to 100 grams of of powder cocaine, and not only that, but what's worse than that is that, again, before 2010, they had this thing called a mandatory sentence. Meaning that even if a judge wanted to feel for you, even if a judge wanted to he ain't that bad, he couldn't do it.
Motherfucking right, he couldn't do it. You know why?
Why?
Because it was mandatory.
It was fucking mandatory. It was law.
Yeah, that's
it's
crazy.
law.
That's
it's
crazy.
law. So
Hey,
that's
hey, this is what I wanted to say, right?
go ahead.
When I be telling motherfuckers about the mandatory, right? I said, shit, Judge bucked that. I saw about 2 judges bucked it one time, right? Man, that appeal court sent that shit back, man. The 7th Circuit, that's our circuit, is Illinois, right?
Right.
Hey, they sent that shit back. They gave the man what he gave him, that life sentence. The judge tried to give him 20 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Prosecutor appealed it.
Damn.
So
that's
he was
fucked
up under the mandatory sentence.
Damn.
So talk about that. You specifically. I want to give you let's go 3 minutes and talk about how that affected your life. Because when because it's one thing to say it, like for me, I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? I hear it and I understand it.
Yeah.
But when I'm really living it, and especially like you said too, first time offender, you ain't got no fucking record. You ain't never been no violent.
And you're 24.
And I'm 24. And they say not only is it mandatory, but it's mandatory life.
I would have fainted.
I feel you on that, bro.
Hey, look. Hey,
Take us back, man.
Hey, look,
Take us back.
When I got sentenced, they took me back to MCC, right? So I'm being quiet because I don't want them to put me in the chute
Oh, yeah.
and have to stay in the chute for about 2 or 3 months waiting on my motherfucking transfer.
Right.
Because when you go in the chute, they do you last.
Yeah,
you the last
dirty. Yeah, you
motherfucker.
dirty.
Do everything. So I'm like, fuck that.
Is it a difference between the shoe and the hoe?
No, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
shit,
okay,
that-
okay.
yeah, it's the same.
Hey,
Okay.
so I said, damn, I'm gonna be cool, right? So I get up here back to MCC. A lot of the old heads, they already know. They looked at the expression on my face, like, man, I ain't finna bother Shorty, man. Shorty.
Yeah.
So I go in my room and I go get my mail, go back to the cell. So somebody came to me and be like, man, everything gonna be all right, man. What them white folks do? I said, shit, man, they stuck the knife in me. Hey, look. The man said, I hope you get, when you go down there, I hope you get in any programs that'll help you. And hopefully in the future, they'll let you out. That's basically what he said.
Yeah.
Congress will let you out. So I didn't really dawn on me at the time about Congress.
Yeah.
Fuck, he talking about I got a lawyer.
Yeah.
This is my mindset.
Yeah.
So then after some years went by, man, then when I went to this, hey, I bet I was the only one out of Rockford, the black dude, man, that ever went to the United States Supreme Court and had oral arguments and everything. I just could never go up in there.
Right.
I was
yeah.
asking
My attorney
went in
up
that
there.
bitch. Yeah.
All right, I don't know what the fuck he said. I don't know what the fuck he said. They
Right.
sent me the transcript, the audio record, you know. Man, the motherfucking justice, that motherfucker was asleep, man. They weren't even paying attention to that.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Damn.
So when I look at the system today, man, I'm still bitter about that motherfucker, but I ain't gonna let that bitterness consume me, man.
Right.
I'm gonna speak on that shit, man. They
Right,
can't
for sure.
do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what's crazy is there's been reporters and media still treating Cuz like he been that same dude all along when he ain't. And of course, I mean, I've been a stand-up dude for a lot of the politicians around here, Booker Washington Center, Rockford Area Arts Council. So I'm not ashamed to say, yeah, this is my cousin, and he's a changed dude now.
Yeah.
That's my cousin. That's fam, and that's blood every day.
Right, for sure.
So let me ask you this, and Karl, we're gonna come right back to you, man, because I want to continue to dive deep into that. But let's come to you because I think it's important not only for us to understand, but for Karl to understand, for our audience to understand. But when he got that life sentence, when you got word that yeah, bro ain't coming home, and he ain't coming home never. How did that affect you, and how did it affect the family?
Oh man, I remember. I think we was at home, man, and the news came on, and it was either the newspaper or the news that had announced it, and I'm like, man, this fam, man, he finna be gone that long. And then, I mentioned the other folks that were involved. I knew them too. It's like, man, that's crazy. That's gonna happen. And yeah, will I ever see Cuz again? Like, man, I mean, that's fam right there. And that's something that you never want to hear, that you might not ever see your family member again. Yeah, and that's how they was treating it too.
Is it a difference? I think all four of us didn't experience like death, right? Of close ones. Is it similar to that feeling?
Yeah, it is. Very similar. Yeah. I mean, imagine, bro, that you done seen this dude all your life growing up, seeing him around, seeing people that he know, that is fam. And
then one day he just gone.
He just gone. And you think, hey, you ain't gonna never see him again.
Yeah.
That ain't a good feeling, man.
Yeah. So for you, how did it affect you mentally? Like, what was, because I knew you fucked up about it, but like, how did it change the way you moved in life and how you was handling your shit, things you had going on?
And I think, actually, man, wow, we talk about, political, like, black leadership and all of that. I think shortly after that, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. So it further gave me a lot more knowledge about the system and how we black men are treated. Right. So I went off to college probably 2 months later after Cuz got sentenced, and I just did the college thing, man. And
what'd you study?
I studied marketing management, business administration.
Okay.
So you pretty much profound in that then.
Yep. And then was in college studying with some brilliant black minds, sisters and brothers. So it just kept me on a level where I knew I'd be able to help Cuz out eventually. At least
some
he
point,
could talk to me.
On some level, I might not be able to help him while he locked up, but God willing, he get out and he want to go on his business till we can do that. We can do that.
For sure.
Yeah. That's dope as hell. But Karl, let me bring it back to you unless you got something real quick.
I got something for him, but we can bring it back.
Go ahead.
So Karl, you telling me like 24 years old, you hear the judge just sentence you to book.
That's exactly what I was going with.
Go straight to the hole.
That's what I was going with it, man.
Like soon as you get there, you go, ain't a teardrop.
And nothing.
And hold on. I'm more bitter than anything.
But hold on. But to answer his question, it's like, let me ask you this. Did you have any hope before when today's the day I'm going to get sentenced? Either the judge's going to say I'm guilty or the judge's going to say whatever. That day when you woke up, did you have any hope that the judge might say, like, man, get this nigga out of here, you going home?
Yeah, I know.
So you already knew?
I already knew, man.
You already knew you was facing life as well?
I knew, man. This how I knew. My lawyer kept telling I told him, I said, hey, man, don't be calling my mama telling her to tell me to plead guilty to 25 years. He said, Karl, they're going to give you life.
That's what I'm saying, like, right.
You're not going to never get out. I said, hey, man, you better quit calling my fucking mama with this about my shit. She don't know nothing. She don't want to know nothing. She don't need to talk to you. So he stopped calling.
What made you feel like that, though?
Because I felt like they was worrying my mama, man.
Stressing her out.
Yeah, with that bullshit.
Or were they providing hope and saying he gonna get 25 versus telling your mom you never gonna see your son again?
No, listen. The time that they said the last offer they came was on trial day. They went up 5. They didn't go down 5.
Damn.
They said 30.
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
They came to me with 25 with cooperation. Then they came back, said, okay, you don't want to take that cooperation, huh? I said, nah. I told my lawyer, I said, man, tell them to get that shit to their mama. We going to
Yeah.
Because I know they don't got nothing on me.
Right.
Hey, cousin.
See, I didn't know in the Fed, hearsay is admissible in the federal court of law.
Wait, say it again?
Hearsay is admissible in the federal court of law.
Yeah, I ain't know that either.
Why the feds do that, cuz?
Because that's an easy way to get a conviction.
So what that means, when you say hearsay, it means you don't have proof. You just saying this is who he is.
I can go and say, I can say
anything.
Yeah.
But you ain't got no proof of it.
Yeah.
That's hearsay, right?
You gotta have proof.
Yeah, you gotta have proof.
Okay.
As long as they can Corroborate with that with the evidence conviction.
Yeah.
Because so with the cooperation, they wanted you to tell on the other cats in the Brotherhood.
Nah, that's what they wanted me to do. They wanted me to get a big fry.
Damn, yeah.
That's what they wanted.
Damn.
Yeah, they wanted me to,
That's crazy.
So
out of all that though, it's just crazy that you didn't shed a tear though, man.
Though.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
like, yo, that's
Check this
what.
out. This is the killing part. I told you they came to me day before trial. They came and see what I didn't know. I found this at the end. They figured if I would have pleaded guilty, everybody else would have pleaded guilty.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you called for it.
Yeah.
That's why. So let's talk about that real quick. I'm gonna just ask you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna just ask you flat out. Were you during? I'm not gonna put a time frame on it, but were you at any point an actual leader of the Gangster Disciples?
No, I don't think I was a leader. I just think I was an outstanding member because it was a lot of leaders. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't know how to put the people together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just think I was more creative because I knew, like I say, I know people. You know what I'm saying? The people know me.
Right.
Because I was about that life at a young age. You know, like I say, I lived with my dad, so our house was wide open to the public. So, shit.
Right, but still though, like you might not have seen yourself as a leader, but were you in that role and just unaware?
I probably was. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, because like you said, you had cats like Mike Gillespie, man, that was doing this thing. I mean, you know.
But see, you gotta understand, like dudes like that, we all grew up together.
Right.
He ain't never had no dad at his house. You know what I'm saying? His mom raised him, and she, good woman, she was working at senior. She was out there working at the mental institute.
That's right, she did.
Yeah, so he come from a good home too. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe you weren't a leader. Maybe they just looked up to you more,
I
like
think what
the way
it
you
is,
act and shit
man,
like that.
But that makes you a leader though.
I think what it is,
not like you ain't
Not
gotta
like
say
you
it.
ain't calling, you ain't saying, all right, y'all niggas listen to me.
like that.
It don't seem like it was that.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the personality that you had and the way you was moving.
It was more respect than leading.
Yeah, exactly. They respected you.
I think they trusted me more than anything.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, I'm gonna ride with them on this.
Yeah, because even I knew as his little cousin, when you said Karl Ford, I mean that Karl was stand up and people trusted him.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, they didn't like me because they know, he gonna start some shit. He gonna do this. He gonna start this. He gonna start this. But you know, I don't be starting shit.
Like you told me, yeah. Like
motherfucker that, you got a lot of people gonna try to walk in your shoes, or you out in the street hustling. So motherfucker try you. So if I beat your ass in front of a whole bunch of people, then I put fear. They motherfuckers know I ain't gonna do that shit to that nigga. He crazy.
Right.
You know, some shit
Did you
like
have to
that.
face that up in prison?
Well, in prison, a couple times I did, you know what I'm saying? But a couple times I told the motherfucker what it was, and he just bagged the fuck up.
Right.
Because one of his homeboys probably said, "Oh man, don't fuck with him. He got life sentence."
Right.
So you saying people with life sentences are more viable to lose?
I think if you wake them up, because you know, like with me, when I became conscious of who I was,
Right.
which I started learning how to apply wisdom. Instead of just acting on shit.
Yeah, that's how.
That's the difference between
a boy and a man, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
a
the difference.
young dude trying to get his hustle
Right.
on, and a wise dude like.
So where you developed that at? Where it come from? Why you was locked up?
Well, I think it was always in me because of my dad. He was an old head, so I think I just resurrected when I came to prison. I got a chance to, when you in confined in the area and you ain't got nobody, you just by yourself. So you do your inventory on what
who
you
you-
on your character.
Your
character.
You hit it on the head.
So I got a lot of time to do that. Strengthen my character, know my weakness. Like I know my weakness. I know my strength. So that's why I call myself an innovator. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because I know how to work methods, and then I know how to put people together, man. Because it's like in psychology, man. When you study the human brain or the human being, then you know what you got, man.
Right.
Period.
So you telling me you was in that hole? You know the hole could tear a nigga up. It could make a nigga go crazy. So instead of
jail,
no, but it's a big difference though.
That's what I learned.
It's a big difference.
Going to the shoot, special housing, then living on the cow pot.
It's a different world. It's two different worlds, bro. It's like jail, but when you know the hole, it's a whole different beast. You know what I'm saying?
And segregated housing.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking. Like, you didn't lose your mind. You used to learn yourself to to avoid that.
You know, I kept my mind occupied. Like, you know, I got my GED. I got a lot of college courses. I did with mental health. See, I knew mental health before they even started.
Y'all how they doing it now? It's a big thing now.
Been having mental health for so long. It's just they weren't paying attention to it.
They
were paying attention to some other shit.
Right. For sure.
And now motherfuckers is really showing their hand.
Yeah.
But what I learned in mental health, like this was like in 14, I started seeing a lot of little youngsters come in and they be having them withdraw off them X-Pills and mileage, So one day, the psychology dude, he came and talked to me. He said, Mr. Ford, we might need you to come work over here with us. I was like, man, I ain't doing y'all motherfucking job. So one of the Muslim brothers, he was from Jordan. He always liked me. His name was Muhammad. He was from Palestine.
Australia?
A real deal.
So he used to come talk. He the one really kind of resurrect my wisdom. Like he said, man, he called me. This my Muslim name that he called me Sabu. Like it mean you got patience, you strengthened. You know?
Can you say that again?
Sabu.
Can you spell it? You know how to spell it?
SABOO.
Sabu.
Yeah.
And it means what?
Like patience.
Patience. Okay.
Yeah. So he told me, he said, man, look, man, he said, you need to go over there because that's more of your people, man. It's gonna be over there. So when I started seeing black people going to infirmary on the mental side, they taking allergy tablets, you know, the ones that make you drowsy. And they withdrawing off that and spazzing out. Where they on that K2.
K2. I remember that shit.
Episodes, yelling all in the night. So they want something for that antidepressant stuff. So I started seeing, because I saw it in a lot of white people more than anything in prison. But when I started seeing it in black, I said, I got to jump in the fight, man. Help me, brother. You know, so I went through the little training. They had a UW-Madison come train us, you know, for suicide watch companion. So I used to go over there for 4 hours, watch them, and then I off the next day and I go back. So I used to go over there and watch. So I used to see dudes. So that's how I really learned what to look for and how to see if a motherfucker playing the game. But like I told a person, ain't nobody never playing the game with their mental health. They might not be conscious about what they're doing to this and that, but man, they ain't playing no game.
That's literally what I was going to ask you. I was literally going to ask you, do you...
I don't look at, when somebody got mental health, I don't care if they don't tell you or you see something weird about them. It ain't weird.
Yeah, and they're not playing. They not playing.
Something is off track.
Yeah, they're not playing, though. They're not doing this for attention.
You'll know if somebody doing something for attention.
Right.
You know, like you might catch a dude, you know, he jacking his dick off in front of the bra. He doing that for attention.
I seen that shit.
He fucked up.
Yeah.
Somebody that go in the room and he don't get no mail from his people. He slices his arm.
That's crazy, too.
Yeah, you don't do that, man.
No, it's not crazy, and that's the stuff like I really like to talk about. Not necessarily like people harming themselves, but I like to get into the weeds of it in terms of like people's mentalities, and I'm happy you brought that up because that's definitely something that we were going to talk about, and I think it's a perfect time to talk about it because I know you're a huge advocate for mental health. I'm a huge advocate for mental health, but I want to ask you before we get into mental health, at least other people's mental health. I want to ask you because again, man, like me personally, I can't imagine. And that's why Jay asked you multiple times, like not even a tear, because I can't imagine somebody telling me you you locked up for the rest of your life.
Getting here, you getting sent up the
road,
nigga.
Up the road.
You know when I cried
for the rest of your life.
You know when I cried when my mama passed, man.
Damn.
Because I really got to know my mom while I was in prison.
Damn.
I mean, know it for her.
Yeah.
I knew how that was my mom, but she used to, when I went to prison, man, she used to tell me stuff. I used to be like, man, why you saying that?
Like what?
Like, she told me, she said, I mean, one time, man, I told my mom, I said, dang, Mom, I said, man, these years going by, I think I was on my 10th year, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she kept saying, baby, just pray, don't be worrying about it. I said, no, if you see such and such, I'm worried about niggas on me on the streets. Right. I'm talking about praying. Yeah. I'm trying to get up with such and such. Right. So, she tell me, she said, boy, you can't keep worrying about what's out here because you're going to kill yourself faster doing that,
Yeah.
So I didn't really pay that no attention. Then, as the years got by, I started, it's like her spirit was losing. She was losing her spirit, because we was gone so long, So that kind of touched me. I felt like, man, I rushed her to their graves.
Damn.
So that was the only time that I really cried, man. And then what really fucked me up when they told me what my son was out here doing. I was like, I didn't want him
Karl
for this.
Jr.
I didn't want him, to be a part of this.
Right.
I would never tell him jump in this fight with me. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't. I think about when I first started happening with him, I was in college, so I wasn't able to be around to go find him and say, "Hey, cuz, you don't want to do that." So when I got back home and started hearing about it, I'm like, I think I was wishing I had ran into him, but never did.
Right.
So let's go back a little bit because it's two things I want to touch on so much. It's two things I want to touch on because bro asked earlier when we came back from break, did that whole not going camping and fishing shit affect you? He asked you that, right? Now, with Karl Jr., with you being locked up and Karl not having those same experience you didn't have, Karl Jr. didn't go fish. I don't know, but I'm just saying, dad ain't around, so whatever experiences he did have, they was probably minimum, right? Versus dad being around and dad doing these things for me that his dad didn't do or whatever. I feel like it's both you and Karl Jr. are a part of the same cycle in terms of that missing fatherhood, and when that shit is missing, we might.
What's the difference? I had my father in his life. He didn't have me in his life.
Right, but it's still though, because like for instance, I had my father in my life. He was there. He's alive, and he came around, but he wasn't there.
Right.
So it's like for me, I be going.
So what you mean by he wasn't there?
That's exactly what I was gonna get into. That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. So he was, all right. So look, this is what I think that it was with my parents. My dad, he wanted to be there. He wanted to be a family man or whatever. But it was two things with my dad. The first thing with my dad is that him and my OG, they always was into it. So when I don't have any kids, but I know me and my girl get into it all the time. And I can only imagine if we had kids, how that would play into a whole, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, and only that because, people are spiteful. Like if I had kids, my girl might try to use my kids against me. To where that's what I'm saying. Exactly. To where I'm not around my kid as much as I would want to be.
Right.
So I think that's what it was with my dad. And I also think too my dad was still young, so he was still selfish. He had kids. He took on the responsibility, but he still wanted to live his life. And he was more sort of guy to where like they with their mama. They all right. I'm cool.
Yeah.
So he was there until they got into it, and when they got into it, he wasn't there. And when he was there, it wasn't like he was. I vividly, and Dad, I love you. I promise you, I love you. If you watch this, I love you. But I only remember one vivid memory of like an experience that me and my dad had. I think it was like my 10th birthday or some shit, and he took me to the movie theaters, and we went to go see fucking Friday Night Lights. And I remember it was my birthday, so I remember this vividly because this is a dad-son experience. How you talked about like. My dad took me as his son and he did something for me. So that's what I mean when I say he was there but he wasn't there. And he was there in that sense, but he wasn't there in terms of like, nigga, I'm going through shit in life. I'm a young boy. I'm making mistakes and shit. I'm getting into it with the police and shit. Like all this different shit that as young men we unfortunately learn on our own. he wasn't there for those things.
Yeah.
So like I said, it was two things I wanted to touch on. One of them was that in terms of by you being gone, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that ultimately helped Karl Jr. make his decisions on the life he wanted to live?
I think what it did, right, the people that was out here that telling him stories about me, I think all that like ignited his ego.
Turned him up.
Yeah.
Turned him up.
I was just thinking about that,
because you know I go back and reflect on myself. A lot of things that people did, it like ignited me to okay, I could do this now. I got validation to do this now.
Yeah.
You know, I got the green light.
Yeah.
Right.
So I look at that in the same sense, man. But you know, like I say, man, you know, when one come conscious of himself, man, only he can make that change. I can't make it for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I just got to put it out there, you know, and how I put it out there is by example. Like, you know, I come out here doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Working, you know, got my own place, you know, and minding my business, staying in my lane, you know what I'm saying? So,
And doing this, trying to do it the right way this time.
yeah, so, you know, I can't tell them off, I just got to show them.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think you just answered my next question, but my next question for you is right now, if Karl Jr. is watching this episode right now and he looking at his dad and he's saying he really just looking at this episode, is there anything that you would want to tell him right now? Just anything that you want him to know. If he watching this shit right now, without y'all being able to have that back and forth, without you being able to pick up on it, he ain't sitting here like this, like
Right.
And without that, if it's anything that you want him to know, anything you thought about when you was locked up and you was thinking about him, anything that you would want to say to him, what would it be?
I would just say, shit. The key thing is just know I love you, man. You know, that's all I can tell him, man. You know, and hopefully, you know that. You know, he'll figure it out. You know, I have to figure it out too. You
Facts.
know, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it.
Right. For sure.
Shit, we all gotta figure this shit out, man.
Yeah.
When we make our decision, it ain't through nobody else. It's on us.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the gift that we got.
Right.
Change and a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got a choice to change, or we can continue doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, all I can do is be an example, man. You know,
Right.
because at the end of the day, man, you know, we got to decide on what's best for us.
Right.
Shit, some might be good for you. You might like the top part. I might don't like the part at all.
Right.
What I do, just say, fuck it, nah. Try to work it out to where, you know, we could agree on it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that, man. You know, life ain't complicated. We make it complicated
Yeah.
by, you know, putting too much emotional shit into it.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
Yeah, it's a fact. Sure. But what I got from you, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you say, Karl Jr., I love you, to me, I heard more than just those 3-letter words, right? I love you. That's a 3-word sentence, whatever. But I hear more than just those 3 words. What I heard from you when you say, I love you, what I heard was, in any way that I can possibly be there for you, I'm gonna do it. As long as it's possible.
That's most definitely, because, you know, I mean, you know, when we get in these jams and situations, you know, that's when we really know who they're for us. You know?
Right. That's a fact.
And, you know, I had to learn the hard way, because it was a lot of people that I ate off our plate that now today I look at it, they didn't deserve that, but then at the same time, I gotta use the wisdom and shit, man, you know, they only was good for what they was.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Look at it like, you know, with no malice in your heart.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, man, you took the risk to deal with them people.
Facts.
So, you know, I believe in, man, I'm a firm believer in, man, when you don't compromise your morals and principles, man, you'll go a long way. You'll have longevity in life, man. You know, it might don't happen right then and there. That's like people be like, man, how you do this? How you do this? Because, man, you know, it was in me, man. It just, shit, it had to formulate to something, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change. Only thing I'd change, man, is this. I would know how to position myself in a better way. See, at first I didn't know how to position myself. I had to learn. I had to learn.
Right.
But now I don't gotta learn. I can just, I could check the temperature and know what it is. Okay, I'm gonna move like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you said going through your cases and stuff, a lot of judges was playing with your life basically. And you know you got kids and everything, you got your daughters, you got your sons. Like they never expressed like how fucked up it is and
or how they felt.
Yeah, how they really felt about their dad life being played with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know my daughters mostly they was like, you know, they
fucked up.
They was before I had to tell one of them, oh, I'm trying to get out. Yeah, they was on some radical shit, especially with the dude Chris Green. My daughter sent him a letter. She sent him a letter, man. That's why I say, man, the girls, man, they soldiers.
Yeah, because they love their daddy. You know what I'm saying?
You know, our relationship ain't where I want it to be, but it's gonna get there.
Right.
You know, it's like I don't know their expectation of me, but you know, like I told them, I say, hey man, check this out. I can't be y'all father, daddy, man. I just gotta be y'all best friend. They be like, what? I said, yeah, I don't know how to be no fucking dad. I don't know how to be that. I never got a chance to be that shit.
Right.
And I ain't finna let no motherfucker teach me now shit.
Right.
I mean, my one daughter told me, well, I'm gonna teach you how to be a dad. I said, you better get the fuck on with it. Yeah, I love them, man. They cool, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta think.
I just look at now, by me not being in their life and looking at how they make decisions and choices, man, I love them, man.
Right.
I love them, man. They got their own. They holding their weight, man.
Right,
for sure.
sure.
In this world, because this shit ain't easy for nobody,
weight,
bro.
man,
And they doing it. They getting it done.
They got kids, man.
And they getting it done.
You know, I be like, man, I just, you know, I don't say too much to them because I let them live in their own zone. You know, I don't, you know, if they get up with me, I get up with them. But, you know, at the end of the day, I love them, man, because, you know, I went there and just see the bloodline still flowing strong.
Yeah, for sure.
Know? And I'm thankful for that, man.
Yeah, and I was trying to say because you know some people in the world might get it misconstrued as in like he don't want to learn how to be a daddy type shit. It ain't because he want to. It's because he was programmed. He was alone for so many years.
His life was taken from him. He was dead and came back. And came back. Just think about that for a second. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, I just wanted the audience to know it ain't like no malicious shit.
He ain't no deadbeat.
It's just all he knew was him.
He was gone for 25 years.
26 years.
26 years and 9 months. He was released in July 2019.
And that's crazy, man.
I went to the halfway house. You know, hey, this is the killing part. The halfway house, it's like, well, you still in prison.
Yeah, for sure.
You just on a furlough.
Yeah.
So look, you know, my mind, you know, I'm already.
You thinking I'm out?
Yeah. No, but I'm already fucked up because I got the life sentence. I don't got life no more.
Yeah.
So you know, man, that shit took me a long time to really like process that. And then you know, I'm like, man, I'm gonna deal with this. You know, I'm so used to being over here, coming back out here. So I said, so after one of my co-defendants, he tell me, man, I see your name on the bulletin board for pre-release. I said, pre-release? Man, I ain't going to that shit. What the fuck they gonna tell me? But I did needed the pre-release, so, you know, I didn't know they was finna let me out like that.
Right.
I was supposed to go through pre-release for a whole week. Only went to pre-release for 2 days because they had to let me out. I was over my time. They They took the time that they was gonna give me 30 years.
Yup.
They wanted me to take
You supposed to get released in November.
They wanted me to take the 30 years, but I didn't take the 30 years. I rolled out, went to trial, and got life.
Damn.
And look, this what they gave me the low end, 30. And on 30, you do like 25 and some change. But I did 26, so they had to immediately let me go.
And that's what I read up on, and that's why it makes sense when you say with 26 years and 9 months, because what I read on my research was you was expected to get released in November.
Yeah.
They released you in July.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you that, like, how the fuck you speed up your release?
Because when they calculated my good time, see, in the feds, if you're a lifer, you don't get no good time. You just doing day for day.
Day for day, and that's why I was telling him.
You don't get two
days, 2 for 1. Yeah, you don't get a 2 for 1.
Day for day, you not getting no good time.
Damn.
So when when the courts changed my sentence to 30, they got to give me all that time back.
Yeah.
So
they gave me all that motherfucker. That one number probably about 2 or 3 years. I'm like, shit, that ain't shit.
Can I ask you this? When they gave you 30, was it under the impression that they gonna release you? That they only give you 30 because you had already served close to 29? Like, did they give you that because they knew, like, all right, that's
no. I was in a mandatory life sentence, so they took me out the mandatory life sentence, put me in the guideline range. So I was in the guideline range.
What the fuck that mean?
That mean like a chart. I'm gonna bring it to you. It's a chart called a guideline, sentencing guideline manual. I was at the bottom, but by when Trump signed that bill, they ended up making me eligible. So then they brought me to 30. 30. Because I had life, they took me to 30. So I had 26 years and 9 months.
Yeah.
In already. So on 30, you only do 25-4.
Right.
But I was up, so they decided to go. So they had to put me into the halfway house, to go to the halfway, because they can't just put you on the streets.
Right.
They send you to the halfway.
I mean, all them fucking years you just did, you damn right we can't just throw you on the you just did a lifetime. Like, nigga, it's niggas who wasn't born when you got locked up, and these niggas are grown now, like, so we can't just throw you back out there like that.
My whole objection, when I said, oh shit, I'm finna go. So when I left, this chick came and got me. First day. This was my girlfriend. I had a girlfriend when I came home. So look, I told her, I said, hey, I need you to come up here so I can get my driving license. She don't want me to do that. Well, I'll take you where you gotta go. I said, nah, I need my driving license. So she got me the book, and we did it. The first time I fucked up because I was so anxious to get it, I fucked up.
Right.
So then the second time I went back, I got it.
Yeah.
With her help, right? So look, I got my license. So my niece, she gave me a car. So now, at the halfway house, you can have your own car as long as you got insurance and the driving license. So I got my own car. So I go in there and make my pass, tell them I'm going looking for a job. But I don't tell them I'm looking for a job, so I'm going to get in the program.
Right.
Down here in Rockford. So I drive back down here from Janesville. So I'm getting the glimpse, I'm getting the feel back to society. Right? And at the time, I'm listening to this when this nigga Mo 3 came out.
Yeah,
Mo 3.
Yeah.
What is that one?
Rest in peace, Mo 3.
Yeah, yo.
What's the one he was saying?
What, scared to go outside?
No, I don't trust no one.
I think I know you're talking about.
I listen to too much
that shit go.
Man, we gotta play that. Hey, look, I listened to that.
I know what you're talking about though.
About 4 months straight.
I just can't say it.
On repeat.
Yeah.
On repeat. Because I was locking this in my
Everybody ain't
head.
your friend.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I know what
That
you're talking
bug
about.
in my head, right? So when I got out here, everybody, I'm like, shit, ain't no friends, no family, nothing. It's just me, So I'm coming out. So now I'm get to go out in society. I drive back. I'm getting a 3-day pass, right? I leave on a Friday. I come back Sunday, right? So look, I'm going to Rockford. So I see all this. Now, my mind said, oh, these motherfuckers counting me out. So, I'm riding around, looking at
You mugging motherfuckers and shit for no reason. For no reason.
I'm glad you out. So I'm looking, right? So I'm taxing their ass coming out the door because I already know you got 30 days to do whatever you know. That shit go wear off. Look at you like a normal
right?
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
So,
you still have cash owing you money too, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly, like he was talking about. Yeah,
I knew how to come out here and be because you gotta look at. I've been listening to all these dudes that come in and out the Fed.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to them. Man, you gotta go out, man. I went out, so I know how to. I said, okay, I ain't gonna do what he did. I'm gonna do my shit like this.
Right.
Man, I come out here like so. Motherfuckers was like, oh, he on something. He finna do this. But I tricked their ass. I got in these programs, got me a job. I didn't get a job till I got to UPS.
yeah.
I worked for one of my homies. He had a contract cleaning a family member. They was cleaning the airport out here. So I and helped them at night.
Right.
So, but for the most part, man, shit, man, this shit a cakewalk. Cause I already see what it is, man. I just got to network with the right person and build my own self, because this is what I know. See, one thing about it, a lot of people might need finances to get indoors, but I know people and I can get indoors better than that.
Right.
Just like right now, I got into a door right now just being over here. You know what?
Yeah.
That chick, the brand.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
I was just thinking about her.
Man, I'm finna call her today, man. I gotta make an appointment with her because, see, I was listening to her. She kind of shy, but I was listening to something she said, and she was talking that technology shit with the brand. So I'm like, damn, how can I network and get this shit on moving? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm finna tell you, man, this gonna fuck them up because they're gonna be trying to figure out, damn, why these people donating this money to him?
Right. Yeah.
Man, look. I got a curriculum, man, to change your attitude, behavior, and conduct.
For sure.
Yeah. Make you a better person.
Hold on. Let's again. Let's make sure people heard that. He has a curriculum that's going to change your attitude,
your
behavior, and your conduct. Think about how important that is. Just think about black people.
Especially today. Man.
You think about black people.
But it worked for me. This is why I know. It changed me before I came out here.
Damn.
I did the program for 18 months and became a facilitator.
That's how you do it.
So once I became a facilitator, I hooked my own shit up.
Damn. Yeah.
So you the perfect example.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, I use myself first.
Yeah.
If it work for myself, it can work for somebody else.
Right.
Let me take a step back, but not too far of a step back. You were charged and convicted of distribution.
I was charged with a conspiracy to distribute and manufacture crack cocaine and powder cocaine.
What were you convicted on?
That's what I was convicted.
Can you say it one more time?
A conspiracy to distribute, manufacture crack cocaine and powder cocaine.
Okay. Damn. So you were.
It was a long ass paragraph. Count one.
So you were charged and ultimately convicted of that. How many people went down with you on it? Just a number.
Group, in my trial group, it was 20 of us, and they broke us off into 5 groups.
So let me ask you this. Are you familiar at all with the Young Thug RICO case?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Can you give us... We don't know. We ain't never been charged no fucking RICO. I ain't never touched a fucking drug in my life. So... But for our audience as well, because there's a lot of young people out here who are fascinated and who are thrilled and turned on by this RICO shit, and they think it's like, oh, that's like... So because you are familiar with it and because you pretty much went through a similar situation, can you speak on not only your situation, but can you also speak on Young Thug's situation and maybe some advice for Young Thug?
Well, all I'm going to tell him, man, when he get in there, if he had to go, I wish he don't have to go. But, man, educate yourself about this law, man, because this the tool they use. This is a systematic design tool, man, to deprive us, man, from happiness and the opportunity to
get
live,
better,
man.
yeah, to make our life better.
And even though we might have people around us that's, causing destruction and this and that, we still get the blame for that, even though we doing something right.
Yep.
You know, so my thing would be this. Like that RICO, all that RICO and continued criminal enterprise and conspiracy, all that was a mechanism for them mob cases and stuff like that. That's what it started off for, to get them. But when the crack epidemic came up, they started using it for blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now they used it in like politicians and
Yep.
now they getting hit with it, you know what I'm saying? But basically what it is an organized crime that ain't paying their taxes.
That's really all it is.
That's basically that in a layman term.
Can y'all hit me to the Young Thug situation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want me to?
Yeah, you can. I mean,
all right. So pretty much, Young Thug was locked up for a RICO case. You know, you familiar with the abbreviations? The rapper, Young Thug.
I know him, but what's the RICO?
So RICO is racketeering, and I think it's conspiracy. It's racketeering.
Continued criminal enterprise.
Yeah, organizations or some shit like this. So it's pretty much. It's pretty much saying that you are running a crime organization. So that's what he got hit with. So with him being the leader of YSL. He's pretty much like what he just said is like, yeah, you might be doing a lot of good because Young Thug is a rapper. He donate, he get back to the community. But because you got knuckleheads out here and people who are doing bad shit, you are ultimately blamed for that. So if you are the leader of YSL, which is Young Thug, he's the leader of YSL, which is, in his defense, is just a record label. And
Which it is.
And it is. But me as a fan, I'm not involved in the situation. It's a little more than that too because them niggas really had some gangster shit going on outside of just they record label. It was a record label, but they also had gangster shit going on, and that's why I personally think he gonna serve some time. But ultimately, he pretty much was locked up for being the head of a criminal organization, and he's going through trial and all that right now to try to basically fight it. But again, in my personal opinion,
myself, I don't know if YSL was doing the gang stuff. I know YSL was like a cut off from Bloods.
That's what I mean.
Blood gang.
That's what I mean.
But see, it could be like this. That's just like him. People might think now he a GD.
Yeah, because I'm on here with
association brings similarity.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't know if YSL was with the gang shit.
Yeah, he probably, you know
what I'm saying? It probably was a legit business.
Like, man, if I had an opportunity to go get these gang members off the street and give them an opportunity, I'd go get them before I put my shit on
Indeed or some shit.
I'm going to get all them. Because you know why? I know how they think.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just like I told my PO. She come tell me, I said, man, I don't think it's a job here qualified for me. She was like, why you say that? I said, because you keep telling me to go I can get a janitorial job or I can go work in a factory. Shit, I don't need that type of shit. I can dictate shit to people.
You must not know who the fuck I am. And you must not, you clearly don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Clearly.
We got to put people together. We work this shit out.
Right, for sure.
This shit you doing, like I told her, I said, this shit you doing, I do this shit every day.
Yeah.
When I was locked up, man, you might see two folks get into it with your what the fuck y'all getting into it for?
Yeah.
Don't y'all both believe in the same thing?
Right.
Yeah, but this is, okay, y'all work together and we go build something from that.
Period.
So that way the people from the outside and the other members, they'll see, you
Period.
do that.
Yeah. Right.
Put y'all together, make y'all work together. Y'all got to come up with a project.
Right, for sure.
But you know, that's kind of why I was asking the question, because Young Thug is also who's facing some serious charges, and it's a lot of people who are his co-defendants, a lot of people who damn near are going to go down with him, similar to you in a sense. That's why I wanted to ask you particularly, how do you, not to yourself, but to the system, you are considered the leader of all this that's going on. So 2 questions. How do you deal with the fact that not only am I fighting my case, but it's 20 other some odd people who I really got to sit back and think, like, is this person telling? And then number two, how do you keep yourself together enough to where you don't tell and put other people, you know what I'm saying, in a bad position? How do you do that?
Well, it ain't how I do it because it just ain't in me, you know what I'm saying, to do nothing like that because I wasn't raised like that. I was always raised, you take your own weight.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully down the line you get a lifesaver jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But, you know, like I said, you know, we don't know how a person mentality is until we get in a situation, you know. And like with anybody, you don't know if you don't know how strong a person is until you got been through something.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people ain't been through nothing, man. They gonna fall weak. You know what I'm saying? You might have somebody in their ear telling me, I ain't gonna do this time with you. I ain't gonna do this or that. You know, that's what happened with us. But back to what you was saying, it was 15 of us went to trial. And 2 took plea agreements, they ain't had to cooperate. And 3 cooperated. But how our case initially got started was 2 dudes robbed the bank. They was GDs. They volunteered and went down there and gave the people some information.
Damn.
The people was already watching us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, on the state side. So when they caught their Fed case, that automatically would say, shit, let me call up here and request 250 federal agents.
Damn, yeah.
They requested that from Chicago
I heard about that.
Was that when the raid happened?
to apprehend us and to monitor us
Yeah.
for 18 months.
Yep.
That's all they did for 18 months.
Cause the bank robbery situation, I didn't even know about that, man.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna tell you that. They make it seem like they did all the work for the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that.
Some niggas who they got caught up in a different situation came and
Dudes
gave
say they
them.
believe in the same thing I believe in. They were GD. And they say they believe in our brother keeper, but they wouldn't no brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, like I say, man, then they had other little components that was they was putting out there. Like I told you about the lady came over there and said,
With the wire?
yeah, she was wired up. Then you had a fucking Mexican, like he was a connect. He was coming to our car wash,
Straight up.
getting cars washed. He was from Mexico. He was an informant from Chicago.
Damn, that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
The car wash down on State
Yeah,
and
he think we
Avon.
finna bring $100,000 to the Oasis, meet him there. I told him, man, if you got them many keys, you might well bring that shit to my doorstep.
Right.
Fuck, I'm gonna come to the Oasis with you. That don't even
Right.
Sound right at all. It sound like a it sound like a setup.
Yeah.
I told him, man,
Yeah.
shit, man, we don't come nowhere. We spending money, they gonna come to our set.
Yeah.
Right.
He always wanted to buy our cars and take them back to Mexico, but he wasn't taking them motherfuckers, man. He giving them to
To the
Fed.
police, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How old were you when you touched your first $1 million?
Well, as a group, I could say I was like 22,
Straight
22 with $1 million?
3.
Seeing $1 million?
Seeing $1 million?
Damn.
As a group.
As a group.
Yeah.
As a group.
Because it was a brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, see, how we used to get our money is like this. The workers, they get their money off top. So that motherfucker, they might make 5 bands in one night.
Right.
The runners, they get their money off every pack they go to the packs to go to the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So at first we was getting the runners $500 a week.
Right.
Then we stopped that. I said, nah, we finna start. When they take all them packs there, they get their money off top.
Mm-hmm.
We had to wait the end of the month till everything come in. So everything was like running off a system. You know what I'm saying? So whoever, like I might be responsible to run the packs. So when everybody checked all their work in to me, I gotta make sure I give it to the runner and get a count of it.
Right.
And I'm responsible. If any shorts come, I gotta have a reason why they're short. I gotta know. So, like, it's 13 of us was on the committee, and out of 13 of us, it's like we get between $5,000 or $50,000 or more
Right.
a month.
Right.
Damn.
So we might get this month. We might get 47,000.
Yeah.
Damn.
Next month we might get 52.
And y'all split it amongst the group.
Yeah.
So you
We had
running
the
up
money to get to
50K.
work. We might have the money to get our more work. We might get 10 more keys, and then anybody in jail or anybody on the team that needs some money, they
Take
got
care of
money.
them. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, cuz I heard, and I think this was within fam that y'all had trash bags full of money, cuz.
Man, look, one time we took all the ones, we used to take all the ones and fives and put them in trash bag.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to just put them in this trash bag and leave it in the closet. So one day, man, we took this motherfucker shit out. We were like, damn, all this been in here. And it was, man, that was like a 2 months worth. We didn't even, it was like it wasn't even missed it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Cause it used to take us like, it'd be like 4 or 5 of us counting money. We might be in the house for 2 days counting money. We ain't had no
Word.
machine. We ain't had no fucking machine.
Right.
Hold on, man. So you say it's 4 to 5 of y'all, which is a lot of people to count some money. Because goddamn it, I can count out 1,000. I can count out 10K right here by
might
myself
count all
in
the
like a
hundreds.
minute. You know, like
We
whatever.
Counting all the hundreds. I might do all the 50s. He might do all the
20s,
and he do the
10s,
and the 5
and the ones going to
the
bag.
to the side.
But like again, so like that's so okay. Let me ask you this question then.
You got to think though. They ran what y'all ran up $5 million in 3 months.
That's all I'm finna say.
Yeah, see, this we had work on all sides, everywhere in Rockford.
Damn.
Everywhere. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Cousin was hustling. Man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We might have 2 or 3 spots in Concord. We might have a spot over here in James Adams Fairgrounds. On the east side, the Grand Hotel over there.
Damn.
Oh, y'all was out there, cuz?
Yeah, Black
Man,
Hawk.
I didn't know that.
We had somebody was getting work in Orton Keys.
Damn.
So it was a team of us.
Right.
Let me ask you this, because it sounds like, I mean, especially with like a enterprise like y'all had going on with all that money and shit flowing through and the team that you had put together. Was it all just coming from your head, or were you sitting down with pen and paper and organizing
No,
this
we
shit?
was
Like,
making decisions.
that's what I'm asking, yeah, like,
we have meetings like
how was y'all-
meetings, or we might have monthly meetings. Then like when it's time to re-up, certain people know they turn. Okay, you this your turn. You go out of town, take care of business.
mm-hmm.
We had a plug, man, in Texas, man. We can come here and make some money. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, that's how. So go back to the Rap A Lot Records. They knew y'all from that, huh, cuz?
yeah.
Ah.
Damn.
Rap A Lot Records. Who was on that? Shit sounds so familiar.
Scarface.
Jay
Jay-
Prince and
yeah,
them,
okay, okay.
Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
He came and
Ghetto
put on the
Boys,
show
yeah.
here.
Ghetto Boys from
He
Chicago,
did.
ain't they?
No, they from Texas.
Yeah,
Down in the
they
Fifth
came.
Ward.
Yeah, they from Houston.
I thought they was from
They came
Chicago.
and put that show
Okay.
on here down at the Coronado Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
right.
a mess for him, man.
Real quick, since we there, if it's okay to pivot, because I'm gonna get back to the story, but if it's okay to pivot, what was the music scene like when y'all was growing up?
Oh, the music scene was off the chain. You had
NWA,
NWA, Scarface,
Scarface, Too Short.
Too Short.
Yeah.
And Cousin was bumping all that in them blazers.
Back then, the popular system was Rockford Fallgate.
Yeah,
Oh,
they still go hard now.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they still go hard.
That's a radio
Yeah.
station?
Nah, that's them speakers.
Like
Speakers.
amps
Yeah.
and all
Oh,
that.
okay.
And they make the best
Yeah,
shit.
they still
too.
go hard. Yeah, they
Man.
still
Yeah.
make. Yeah, I used to have 2 12s.
Straight
with
up.
15s in the bag.
Oh, mama. So how many 15s?
2.
Yeah,
I had
that's
two
still
12s.
too much. I ain't gonna lie, that's too
I had
much to
two
me,
12s.
bro.
Look, one time.
That's too
in
much
my
for me,
Blazer,
G.
I had 4 15s. I had one on this side, one on this side.
Damn.
Hey, slamming.
That's too much, bro. I don't know,
on
G.
State Street one day, you had your the back open. You was like, "Cuz, come check this out, man. That shit was slam."
I might spend about 2 bands, man. Take it down the audio, install it, man. Hook me up with a system and alarm and all that shit, man.
Yeah.
Hey, them motherfuckers, they loved us, man. When we came, then we started saying, okay, this our spot.
Yeah.
They would just go right in.
Y'all practically made them rich back then, cuz.
How much did the music, like, cause I think in today's world, a lot of the music that's being produce and put out these days is affecting these kids and making these kids feel like they gangsters or making them feel like they are called for it. They really not. So was the music scene back then, was it really as influential as it is now?
It was, man. Like Pac, man. That mother, Pac, man. That mother used to like what's that one, man?
Yeah, find it real quick because I need to know, man.
I think Brenda had a baby. I think that really influenced us back then.
Yeah,
because we was going through some of that same
shit
too. And as a young dude, I'm seeing these young girls getting they 15, 16 getting pregnant. And I'm like, wow, man, look at this, man. Yeah. Are
there any Rockford artists that y'all was big on back in the day, or any Chicago artists that y'all was big on back in the day?
I'll tell y'all this Chicago artist. They was called the Dark Side Mob. Y'all heard of them?
No, that was back.
The West Side.
I saw you mention them too, cuz.
Yeah, I was fucking with them.
Back in the day, yeah.
Dark Side Mob.
Yeah.
Is they still putting out music now? Or?
I doubt it, right?
I don't know, man. And who else?
I don't know. Bust around still.
Rockford or Chicago artists from back in the day?
Oh, man.
Nah, that was a Chicago artist.
I'm just asking y'all though, like Rockford or Chicago, like who was y'all fucking with locally? Yes, I'm asking, like back in the day, what did Rockford have any like big time artists back then?
I mean, for like R&B and stuff like
that.
Well, whatever genre, it don't matter.
Michelle, and then you had
Michelle who?
Williams.
Michelle Williams. Then you had
Destiny's
Child.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah, she from out here.
Jimmy Smith, Nasby.
And Nasby with the Sound of Blackness, they huge.
I don't know who the fuck y'all talking about.
Hey, y'all think we can have Michelle on the show?
That's how my life. That's how my life was. That's how I was.
I'm with it.
But now, man, I look at it like now, just looking back on it, man. I don't wish. I mean, this is the life I had choose. You know what I'm saying? This that's what I was on. So I had to protect my interests.
Facts.
And my interest was the Brotherhood.
Right.
Because the Brotherhood was guiding me in the direction that, was suitable for me at the time. Mm-hmm. So, I had to protect that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. If y'all don't mind, I don't want to dominate the conversation, nothing, but I really just want to hit on this real quick. For a guy like myself, the reason why, at least at 31 years old, right, the reason why I feel like I made a choice not to choose the streets was because, or just not even the streets, but just like why I made the choice not to even get involved, because I really can't see myself taking a life. Now follow me for a second, okay? I'm like, I can't kill somebody, right? And that prevented me from choosing the streets. Now, it's some men out here that grow up and some boys out here that's growing up, and instead of them saying to themselves, I can't kill somebody, they are saying to themselves that I have to become the type of person that would kill somebody just so I don't get killed.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And that's I think that make all the world of the difference. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like anybody. I'm choosing. It's some fucking maniacs that I'm choosing to kill, right? This is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. But I think, at least for us in the black community, most of us, there's still some black people that's crazy, but I think for most of us, regular, average, for the most part, niggas, man, we not actively saying I'm choosing to go kill. What we're saying is that I'm living a life of survival, and part of that is making sure that I can protect myself by any means necessary, and make sure that and part that might ultimately, so I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's what make the difference between the street nigga and the non-street nigga, bro. Is that y'all get that, y'all are introduced and have to accept much faster the fact that you might have to kill somebody much faster than I had to accept that. I'm 31 years old. I don't own no gun, and I'm not even trying to put myself out there, nothing crazy like that. But I'm just really giving it the real of it, because it's men out here who just carry themselves different. Like, for instance, my brother, gun enthusiast, love guns, always carried a gun, always infatuated with guns, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but me, never own one. I grew up in a Muslim household. My dad taught me, like, I don't need a gun. Muslims don't carry guns. The Nation of Islam do not carry guns.
No guns.
The Fruit of Islam, them men do not carry guns.
they
You've
don't.
never seen a Muslim pull a gun out. A black Muslim, you've never seen one of them guys pull a gun out. You never. I guarantee it. So that's the type of household I grew up in. Like, man, I don't need a gun.
Yeah,
But then
I don't know. I like with me. I think it's like it's more situational based. Like I don't think street niggas really be thinking like I'm finna go kill somebody. I think
That's what I'm saying.
I think they run into a situation where they gotta do
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
And I think even with yourself,
you have to accept the fact that you might have
yeah,
to do
I think with a regular citizen also they might have to accept that.
But not as fast.
No, not that fast. But I think everybody come to a point in their life where everybody might have to face a point like, damn, I might have to kill somebody. Like you might not own a gun or not, but I think it's best that you do just in case you come across that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with it. But I think every man, I think everybody as a man
I agree.
run into that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, security is a must.
And it might like some regular citizens, might come across it before a street nigga. Because y'all regular citizens, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get preyed up upon more than a nigga that's with a group. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but see, but listen, I need y'all to really tap into where I'm going with this. All right, I hear what you're saying. What you're saying is that you might find us, regardless of who you is, regardless of your background, you might find yourself in a situation to where you might have to kill somebody, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But what I'm saying is that for black people in America, man, who the fuck? Somebody was just telling me, man, this nigga I know, man, this nigga was carrying a gun at 12 years old. Somebody was just telling me that they know somebody that was carrying a gun at 12 years old. I'm 12. I'm carrying a gun. I'm not carrying a BB gun like we talked about before your childhood. You said, yo, that fond memory you had with your dad, he took you to the store and you said that I want that gun. And it was a BB gun. And he bought them bitches. These BB guns. You know what I'm saying? We talking about real guns. You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying, like, I can't see a 12-year-old, bro. The only 12-year-old I can see is a black 12-year-old, a black little boy in America. That's the only 12-year-old. I can't see a white 12-year-old, bro, feeling like I gotta carry a gun or being in a situation. I don't see that shit, bro.
Or maybe it ain't.
I don't see that shit, bro.
Let me tell you this. It's more white kids at the age of 9.
Yeah.
That's carrying?
That's using the guns.
Yeah.
Practicing with guns.
Learning the gun.
Learning guns.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or you know
so?
so?
Yeah. It just ain't broadcasted, bro. They broadcast the negativity
I know a guy
of us,
right
bro.
now. When he go targeted practice, he take his son 9 years old right now.
Bro.
Shooting that bitch.
Bro.
Had a what's the name on his son ear?
Earmuffs.
And
So imagine how lethal this nigga gonna be when he turn 18 or 16 when he in high
just
school.
imagine if he had a mental breakdown.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
how
yeah.
lethal he gonna be when he just want to do
He'd
that.
be in somebody high school shooting it up.
And that,
a high school, someone
to
shoot
me,
somebody.
I think that's why they so keen, like so big on mental health these days, is because it's a lot of white men shooting up these schools,
They trying to stop
doing
it.
all type of stuff. So they trying to like make it more of a take the terrorist name off of him and put, oh, he was just
Mental
mentally ill,
health. Yeah.
type. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
see-
that's why they pushing that mental health so
It's a
much.
strategy
now.
mechanism.
But see, again, this conversation can go so many ways,
Yeah.
and what I'm gonna choose to really expand on, because I think it's extremely important, right? We talking about how these white boys, because they so young and they learning these guns, they end up using these guns and they creating these massacres, right? I understand that, and that is a major fucking problem that we can talk about, bro. But no, fuck that. Let's talk about these little black boys who are dying left and right, bro. Like, bro, I understand, like, niggas is, like, white boys might snap and go shoot up a school. But niggas, black boys that's killing each other every fucking, bro, I guarantee you, bro, listen, I'm going to put this out there, and I haven't researched, and I'm going to research it, but I can almost bet that in a 1 year time, like, span, right, I can almost guarantee you that when that white boy goes and shoot up a school, or he shoot up a movie theater, or he go and shoot up Walmart, bro. If you put all them white boys together and you calculate how many kills they done had in a year, I guarantee you it's not more than how many young black niggas is killing each other in a year.
No, they actually say it's less because I forgot Dr. Umar was saying. He said it's actually less because the population is more white than black. And the only reason why it seemed like it's more is because the news only speak on the
What's more? You saying more?
No, they saying it seems more.
What? So you saying more?
They saying more white people and other races kill each other more than black people do. It's only seen more to us because it's on the news, it's on social media, it's pushed.
I can see
it's
that.
a narrative push.
But it's because it's more of them.
Yeah, it's more like
The population.
Yeah, the population is more white than more blacks.
No,
Yeah,
honestly,
that's
no.
what- yeah, that's
I ain't gonna
what-
lie to
I'm
you. I'm
telling
gonna
you,
challenge
bro.
that because here's why, bro. Bro, America is becoming a. Listen, I was just thinking about this the other day, and I want y'all to think about this. I want the artists to think about this, right? What do they call Mexicans, black people, and any Asians, anybody that's not from America? What do they call us? Minorities.
Right,
Think about that. It's a minority and a majority.
right.
So if it's more people in this country that's a minority than it is the majority, don't that
You
make the
can't-
minority the majority?
No, you can't be a minority if it's more than what it is. If it is if your group is called minority, that means you less than.
I see what you're saying.
So if they calling us the minority, then
they not lumping us all together.
no,
They
is just like you said, the Mexicans, the blacks, the this and this and that. They saying y'all the minority. You basically saying we have more people than y'all, but y'all acting up more than us. That's what they saying.
That don't make
And
no,
blacks,
That's what they saying.
blacks in this country nationwide make up no more than 12% of the population.
right.
So
right.
you gotta think about it.
But it's not just blacks who's minorities. You got Hispanics that's
Right.
minorities. You got Asians that are
but
minorities.
you still defeating the purpose of the whites are the majority.
They're not. That's my point.
They is because if you 12% of something, then you ain't majority.
Okay,
of,
so listen. What's the percentage of white people in America?
I wouldn't know. Right,
It's like
off that.
6%.
No,
No, it's,
hell
it's a
no.
lot more than that.
No,
Let me,
yeah, hell
Look it
no.
up.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Look it up. Let's
I
look
know
it
it
up.
ain't no 6%.
We'll
Shit.
look it up. I guarantee you.
Nah.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you that white people in America is the minority. But let's bring it back, man. We kind of straying a little bit. Let's bring it back. And Karl, we're gonna bring it back to you, man, because you got the biggest say in this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nah, you got the biggest say in this shit. You wanna know why? You know why? Because of that fucking novel you just told me to go home and read, bro. Your fucking court transcripts.
Yeah.
This man brought me court transcripts.
Yeah, I want you to read it, man, so then it give you a glimpse of what you really want to know, you know?
That's a fact.
Yeah,
But
look up
just
percentage wise.
oh, yeah.
so on the surface, before I really dive into that, I'm just asking you, what's gonna save these black boys from killing each other and from getting life sentences? What's gonna save us from life sentences?
Yes,
I'm finna tell you.
71% U.S. white population.
He don't believe Google. That man crazy.
Choice and a chance.
A choice and a chance.
Choice and a chance. To get their mind right so they can function as a human being, man. Instead of a savage, man. You know how that shit go. Popping pills, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So they got a choice and they got a chance, man. If they out here in the free world and they ain't got caught up yet, they got a choice and they got a chance. But whoever they associate with got to resurrect that shit in them, you know what I'm saying?
So you saying like the OGs and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can't be giving them no bullshit, you know. That's how they be trying to trick me, right? They know I smoke weed, right? So they'll slide up on me and give me weed, right? So sometimes I had to tell them, nah, you can't. How much you want for it? I'll pay for it.
Right.
No, gee, that's you. No, you can't, because I don't need you to go and tell nobody you gave me something. You
Right.
did.
Right,
But I
yeah.
know it ain't sincere. You know,
Right,
I'm just
yeah.
trying to read the thermometer. You know?
You know what's happening, huh? Cuz?
Yeah, I be on them like that, you know, especially my little nephews, because they don't know me. They was born since I've been locked up,
Right.
so they don't know me. So then, you know, when you tell them they stay away from you then, because
Right.
now they don't know how you coming. And I try to tell them, I said, man, I shouldn't have to do no strategy thinking with y'all, man, because y'all family, I'm supposed to love y'all, but man, I can't love y'all, man, when y'all a liability, man.
Right. For sure. For sure.
Nah, hold on. I gotta challenge you on that one.
What?
You say you can't love your people when they're liability.
Like dangerous wise, because you got to think where he came from
Yeah.
and what's potentially
Can't
would
put
come
me
with
in a
his name.
situation 'cause
Can't-
you-
yeah.
get emotional hijack.
You can love them, but from a distance, though, you know.
I mean,
that's basically what he's saying.
But I say I can't get in your fight with you, crash with you. Like we in the car.
I still love you, but
speed.
Yeah.
I love you, but man, hold on, pull over, man. Pull over.
Right.
Crash, but
Cuz is back out here. He free. He doing the right things, and it's sad that there's some people in here that might be trying to turn that back around and label him what they was been labeling him labeling him as over the years. So.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So,
go ahead. Oh, well, I was saying before we end or whatever. No, I know we ain't not ended yet, but I got something to. You know, I want y'all to challenge each other to build something because, like I said, not only blacks, we do have gangs, but it's white people out here that had biker gangs and all this stuff, and they making profits from it. So you got a name and you got an image of yourself that you definitely need to be making a profit from it. So some way, somehow, y'all correlate with each other to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Your name itself has something behind it that you have a Chris Green out here trying to profit from it and shit like that.
That's a fact.
Instead of doing that, fuck it, sit down with him. Just voice record it. Then what you do is you got your college degree, write it up.
Oh, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Articulate it better than what he telling you. And then from that, make shirts. Karl Ford shirts.
Hey, but
that's a brand.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying?
No, hold on, real shit, bro. I'm gonna challenge you. Nigga. Cause ain't that what the fuck we supposed to be doing?
Like what you mean?
Think about what you just told these niggas, man.
Yeah, we building. What you talking about? Ain't we building?
Building the brand.
Yeah,
baby.
you gotta build.
Yeah.
But he
I
already established. His year's already been made.
Connect.
You know what I'm saying?
First, you got to dialogue.
Yep.
Then you got to connect.
Yep.
Once you connect, you execute.
Yes, sir.
Once you execute, you go profit.
Yes, sir.
Because once you profit, now you can focus on doing something else.
Yes, sir.
Bringing some more revenue.
Yes, sir.
Somewhere else. Like he say, shirts.
Exactly.
Right. Already got a curriculum. Okay. Put that curriculum in a book form. You cool with motherfuckers on the college?
Yeah.
Get that to motherfuckers on the college.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy.
But that's why I challenge you because you already got everything.
You know how to do it. You know how to set people
his
up.
story already made.
He got the story and he knows how to
formulate it into how I want it to be.
You know how to put people in place. I think that's your fucking gift. And let me ask y'all real quick, because I can keep going, but how y'all feeling, man? Y'all good? Y'all good?
Oh, man, I'm good. It don't even feel like it's 4 o'clock, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And anytime
I got missed the football game. I don't even know the score, nothing, man.
The Chiefs was up when I checked last time.
Oh, man, I hope
come on,
Baltimore
Jackson.
Yeah, they was only up a touchdown. It was 14-7 when I checked.
And anytime I get a chance to...
It's 17-7 now.
17-7, so they kicked the field goal.
Anytime I get a chance to sit down with black men like this and build and use our brains and talk about the stuff that's affecting us, I'm good. I'm gravy, man.
Yeah. Say less.
Do this shit every day.
Yeah, for sure.
This a job for me,
For
man.
sure.
You know?
I feel you.
Not only that, you know, I don't. When I say a job, because see, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. I get my blessings from God, man. You know, because I know, man, that it's a God, man. It might not be up in the sky. This and that. It might be in each one of us.
What a God.
Somebody said that last.
Characteristic, man.
I see the God in you.
Characteristic is so powerful, man.
No, that was
hold
that
on.
was your boy Tony. He said the same thing you said.
Hey, the characteristic is so powerful, man. And when you find one that resonates with your being, man, that's collaboration, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we might just looking at it as a brand, but it might be a corporation or anything.
Right, for sure.
You look at I'm gonna tell y'all, I was with the little Mexican dude. He saw the pattern. He was just in there drawing. The same Mexican did this stuff.
Right.
And they made cookie.
Yeah.
The brand cookie.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Damn.
They just come with an idea, man.
Yeah.
That shit can flourish, man.
For sure.
It's all on the individuals, man.
So let me ask y'all, man, if y'all don't mind, you know, y'all older gentlemen, and it's so much respect, and that's why I'm asking it, because I respect it. How have y'all learned to overcome fear and do what you need to do? Because, you know, like how what's your relationship with fear? That's my question. As a man, what's your relationship with fear?
You know what, bro? I'm gonna go back to the spiritual thing. I do yoga every morning. Yeah. And when I'm done with that yoga, I feel so at peace and at balance and strong that I don't have no fear during the day. So it's the spirit, and somebody had to hit me the other day to the fact that Buddha is actually a black term, a black thing. Buddha is a black man who just spiritual and balanced. So finding that spiritual balance in me to say I can do this, I know who I am, and I'm gonna go about my day.
Eliminates, or at least quiets your fear.
Yeah, quiets it, yo.
Yeah. You know, I pray every morning I wake up and I take 20 minutes, just cut everything off. Be silent.
That's what
when you cut the motor off, man, you can function clearly for that day.
Yeah. Right.
But you gotta practice at doing it. And I learned that through every year when they have Ramadan, I participate.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it keep you, what Ramadan teaches me is it stopped me from refraining from doing the things I normally would do.
Right.
So that's powerful, man, when you can stop your body from eating a certain time. That's all in the blessing in itself, man, because it take, man, just imagine humans, man. Human beings is mysterious creatures.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
And Muggs been trying to figure out that for duration and still can't figure it out. Yeah. But I look at it like, like with me, man, I don't look at, like right now, I might be broke on the outside looking in, but on the inside, I'm richer than a motherfucker.
Right.
Because, going through what I went through at a young age and having all the teaching and the experience on how to navigate through life, man, that's a blessing all in itself. Because, I didn't think I was going to live to be no damn 21 and this and that, man. But one thing, I'm 55, man, finna be 56, man, this May. So, it's a blessing, man. I just, hope everybody that resonate with me or take what I say and use it for their best ability, man, to strive further, man, because in life, man, we're going to have ups and downs, but it's all in how you manage it.
Right, for sure.
See, man, we all got attitude, behavior, and conduct, but it's all in how we manage it.
Right.
And see, once we learn the managing part of it, then, man, ain't nothing under the sun we can't conquer, man.
Yeah, right, for sure.
Shit, nigga, we could sit up in this room and be hot as a motherfucker. What we gonna do? Damn, it's hot, dog.
Right.
Open the door, cut the fan on.
Yeah.
Somebody else will come up in there, man. They can't stay up in here. They gotta go where it's cold.
Right,
exactly.
So, we gotta be thankful for the things that we don't really appreciate. You know what I'm saying? That's like this. I appreciate this because it broadens my horizon to something else. Like I told you, we could be a virgin in certain aspect of things. Like I said, I'm a virgin at this technology shit.
Right.
So talking to y'all, I'd rather get it from y'all than go out here and go pay these people over here. And then they telling me the same thing y'all telling me.
Right.
I could have gave that to y'all.
Yep.
To expand.
Yeah.
Because y'all might get somebody over here that really need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, I don't got no job. I don't want to be robbing no bank. Okay, you give them a job. Tell them, come over here. Your job is just to set up every morning.
I swear.
Yeah.
Sweep the floor when we leave this bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, clean the joint up.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, though, man. Because I really want to know. I really, really want to know from you specifically. You facing a life sentence. Wait. Let me paint it for you, bro. Let me paint it, bro. Please.
That's death row, man. You keep saying like that. That's a death row.
Yeah.
So listen, because I really want you to think about it and answer the question. I think that's the rest of my life. You was 24, you said?
Yeah. When I went to trial, I turned 25. When I got found guilty, I think I got found guilty in June or July.
Okay, listen. So now, in April and May, right before June and July, when it's leading up to the actual sentence, you didn't have no fear in you?
Nah, man. Listen, man. At my heart, man, I was just, I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about the people that was on the case with me. Because I know what I can take, man. I know what I can stand, man. And I think that come from that first time being in jail, man. When I had the six months in the county, I violated my probation. They instead of giving me 6 months in a day, send me to the joint, they gave me 180 days with no day for day.
Damn.
Wow. That was my first case in the county. That's the longest I ever stayed in the county.
So
6 months.
Let's stay right there. It wasn't no like what? Because listen, I went to jail for a week, bro. But just sitting in that bitch for 30 minutes, bro. Like sitting in that motherfucker and people telling you, I had to sit in the little holding cell. Lawyer had to come and sit in there with me. I had to talk to the lawyer. That's what you facing.
Back and forth and shit.
No, listen, bro. And then you doing all that shit, and then you sitting in there with the other niggas. Y'all talking about y'all cases. You listening to these niggas' lives and shit. It's like, bro, all of that, and then you gotta go to sleep. You gotta wake up. You gotta eat your breakfast. You gotta sit in the whatever room you gonna sit in for hours until you see the judge. You gotta see the judge, and all of this is out of your control. You don't control none of it, so you have to have some type of fear that I don't know what's finna happen.
Nah, it's different.
I don't know what's finna happen, G.
Because your life
fear is adaptation.
Yeah, your life wasn't.
I know how to adapt.
Yeah, your life wasn't like
See
that.
what I'm saying, man?
I don't. That's what I'm saying.
No, your lifestyle, you don't understand because your lifestyle wasn't like that.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why I respect it.
You went to college, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you this, right? I'm finna break it down to you. Now, you say you study psychology, right? Okay, now, you going in this classroom, right? You don't know shit.
From shit.
Right? What you do? Don't you got some fear or man, I'm gonna adapt to this shit?
That's a fact.
Which one is it?
I sat my goofy ass right then. I learned and I absorbed and I made it happen.
Okay, that's how it is with a life sentence.
Fuck.
And then you gotta think too.
I can't even
just like when you went in there and took that first exam.
Yeah.
The only thing you was saying, I pray to God, I hope I pass this joint. I hope I pass this. Hey, that's how it is when I was waiting on the decision, man.
Every time.
On the fucking court, man. I'll be like, dang, God, man, I hope this shit work. Man, that shit don't work. That shit crushed me, but I adapt. I get back in the grind.
Part of being a man.
Now that's just a part of adapting to your conditions and situations, man. And then me, I was always the type of person that I challenged myself mentally. I always been, even when a little kid, man. When I used to go to the community center and motherfuckers like they'd take the ball from me because I was left-handed. And I always used to dribble on this side, so I had to learn how to work the ball.
Right.
So I learned how to do that shit. I was eating their ass up every time. I was going to the right on using the left hand.
And we can stop that.
Then,
you know what I'm saying?
Then when I learned how to play handball, I'm in the joint with these Mexicans. We playing handball. So they sport.
Right.
They looking at me like, damn, this is Bato playing. I'm playing with both hands.
Yeah.
So I look at it don't be no fear, nothing. It be that adaptation, man. When you can adapt, man, and it puts you in the mood, you fighting, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like your adrenaline running, man. I'm not finna let you sit on top of me and all this shit. No, you gonna do everything in your power.
That's a fact. So let me ask you this.
So that don't be the fear, be the adaptation.
Okay, so you get past that part.
Right.
But even still, bruh, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm 31, bro. I can almost remember the last 25 years of my life. I can't imagine that shit, just me just sitting in the bathroom, just in the little, I can't. The last 25 years I've been in the world, bro. Yeah. How do you sit there and do that, bro? How?
I occupy my time. I took classes.
How?
Read. I always read, man. And I did things, brothers come in, you know, I teach them, help them get their GED. You know what I'm saying? You know, go tutor them, be asking them questions and stuff. You know, I just stayed busy, kept my mind off the time. Like, I'm here for right now. I got to live this life. You know what I'm saying? Get up, clean up like I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of things that you couldn't do that I can do on the street now, you know, it's different. So, you know, now adapting to out here, you know, the difficult thing for me adapting out here is getting people to understand me, you know, to a certain degree, because I don't give a fuck after that. Once you let them know who you is and what you about, that's it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do nothing else. And that's how I look at life, you know what I'm saying?
What's the biggest difference between being out here and being in there?
Well, being in there is more like everybody on the same page.
Waiting.
We waiting. And not only that, you know, mugs just staying occupied. Out here, it's like, go. Everybody moving. So you got to catch up with the crowd, or you got to, you know, stay in your lane. You know, you got shit to do. You got to go to work. See, like, and then you got 3 things to do that the BOP, this the BOP rule. This only 3 things they expect motherfuckers to do in the BOP. Stand up for 4 o'clock count. I don't give a fuck if you sleep. You better wake your ass up.
Right.
Go to all your call outs. And go to your job detailed assignment. Them the only 3 motherfucking rules. I mean, you got rules and regulations, but these are ones the 3 that's mandatory.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At 4 o'clock count, they go to D.C. They want to know how many people in their federal prison. Alive, not dead. Alive, because that's labor. They need to get up and work. Maintain them buildings.
At 4 a.m. in the morning.
So that way when the motherfucking Congress people, they might have a Congress or a governor come through there, they gotta look nice. So they can get some cheese or something, you know? I be looking at this shit, they think we a monkey in the zoo, huh? I remember some motherfucker back in the day, I was in Leavenworth, I heard about this. The Cubans, they had these Cubans that they couldn't send back to Cuba because Castro was gonna kill them. So all them Cubans, they left them over here in our jails. They just in here.
Damn.
They working, they don't no fine, they don't got no time or nothing.
Damn.
But they leaving them over there because they can't put them in the immigration place, because the immigration place, if one of them church sponsor them, they can go stay wherever the church is. The sanctuary place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, going through all that shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, it's all about adapting, man. You know, we especially black people, man, we've been under depression, man, for so many years, man, just thinking about what our forefathers going through, what they went through, you know what I'm saying, hiding and putting coals in the ground and shit, you know what I'm saying. Now, we don't put coals in the ground, we just tell you and see if you keep your mouth closed, see if you get back to me, then I know you told.
Speak on that, though. What you mean putting coals in the ground? What that mean?
Like, you know, they might put a code in the ground and tell another slave person, man, we over here. Because certain ones wasn't supposed to be around certain ones. If you go read the Willie Lynch theory, it speak on that.
For sure.
The light skinned was over here and the dark skinned was over here. The weak one was over here. They had them in the motherfucking like a pen. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's just like when me and you went off to college, bro. We had to adapt to the whole college thing.
100%.
Wrong people.
100%. 100%.
Y'all went around a lot of black people.
Yeah, exactly. So you adapt to a whole different world.
They come with this old slick talking. You be like, oh, you on some racist shit. Or
you adapt to a whole different world.
Look, this is what I want to tell you. I got met a motherfucking warden. Ain't never been around black people in college.
Nothing.
Or on a job training shit.
And then he get here and it's all niggas.
He in the prison, running the prison, man.
All niggas.
All black. 90% black.
You have any experiences or run-ins with the warden?
Yeah, I had one warden, man. That motherfucker shipped me up out that joint, man. I was in Louisiana, right?
Oh, you went down to Louisiana, cuz?
Yeah, I was in Polar. They had just built that joint too, man. That motherfucker around a swamp, man. Yeah, I said, damn, man, this look. Hey, we call ourselves bucking because one of the folks came there. It was their fault, but one of the dudes came there. A dude stabbed him at another joint, so he getting some get back.
Oh, damn,
So he went over in the unit, right? So they came around and locked all the people that had GD in their paperwork. Like far as their case.
Yeah, right.
So they come get me and my co-defendant. We in a fucking law library. Trying to get out this motherfucker. Stay in this motherfucker.
Looking up all that shit. Huh?
They locked us up and shit and there with the blood. So he told him, he said, hey, they ain't got nothing to do with it. You can let them out and ship us, but this time make sure y'all keep that separate T thing in our file. So they were like, no, we can't let all them out. We're going to make them integrate. So I get mad. I said, man, I ain't integrating with no motherfucker. I ain't had nothing to do with them. You giving me a sanction.
Right.
So they were like, you can't come down here and be trying to be on this and this and that. See, I got been to all the rough joints, so shit, that little petty ass shit, to me, I was riding there.
Right.
It got my ass up out of
And you knew the law a little bit at that point, right?
Yeah, they sent my ass right back close to the home. I went to Tier Hut.
Damn.
Let me ask you this: How much during your bid? How much did you travel?
Shit, man, I can tell you this. I went to Leavenworth. I went to Florence. I went to Pollock, Tier Hut, both Tier Hut, the old one and the new one. And then I went to a medium in Oxford, Wisconsin. Then from there, I went out to dope.
What? Who?
I went out the door from there.
What's that?
I walked out the front door.
Oh, you went. Oh, okay.
I got released from there. I walked out the front door.
Me and you was rapping when you was in Terre Haute. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I walked out that motherfucker said, oh, you'll be back. You'll be back. I said, I ain't coming back. You gonna have a job for me when I get there, motherfucker.
You still on the movies because you see a dude leaving, they like, you'll be right back. Even the warden says
they say some shit like that. They don't say congratulations, I hope you make it.
For real?
No, they say, oh, you'll be back.
Damn.
Their attitude. I'll be like, man, fuck y'all.
Damn. Let me ask you this: you meet any I want to say like any like badass bitches in there, like come across like any type of security guards or some
Oh
shit?
yeah, it was
like,
like in Atlanta joint. They had a lot of nice women down there.
working in jails.
Yeah, I went through the holdover and man, it was big booty mo. But Pollock had some good women too. They was going to, man. A lot of them come from the state joint, getting them fed jobs because more benefits.
Yeah.
They was going. They was getting their ass tore out the frame too, and a lot of them was getting walked up out of there.
Swear to
And I
God.
saw a lot of women get walked up out of there.
Hold on, so you saying there's women down in Atlanta that's getting down with the prisoners?
Yeah,
that's
they
everywhere,
fucking
though.
man.
Yeah, I'm saying everywhere. I'm
Working,
just saying,
all that
like,
good shit.
Yeah.
That shit crazy.
Hey man, what's the biggest thing you learned from sitting in
Biggest
prison for
thing I
25
learned,
years, man?
It's strengthening my patience and learning how to control my attitude, behavior, and conduct.
Those three things, like you said.
Of what I learned.
Because it's like, I think I've heard a rapper say, even I think everyday people with a rapper say, y'all better be lucky, I'm on this chill shit. Because Cuz could be a gorilla out here, but he ain't.
Right.
Look, he calm, chill, peaceful.
That's because, I ain't thirsty no more. I used to be hungry for money, man. Because, man, look, man, when I started able to get on the plane, man, and just get up in the morning, I go to the airport, man, book me a ticket for Jamaica, $500. That wasn't shit, man. So, you feel like empowered, man, because you can go all over the world.
Yeah, because y'all was taking them kind of trips back then, man.
That shit was youngster, man. I was going to Jamaica. I was still there 30 days, man.
Say 30 days.
30 days, man.
What's some of your favorite spots over there?
I go to I went to Montego Bay, Kingston, the Negril Beach, the New Beach.
Yeah.
I've been
the
to
New Beach.
Yeah. Man, that motherfucker pretty, dog. Well, back then, white sand, it was like secluded area. Man, that motherfucker, man, they just be in there naked, man. Just on the beach at night looking at the concerts.
What ass that guy?
I went to St. Thomas.
Yeah.
I've been to the Bahamas a couple times, Sweetport and Nassau. I like Sweetport better than Nassau.
Okay.
Where else we been?
What's some of your favorite activities to do when you traveling? What's your favorite thing to do when you
I'm
gone?
going where they got. I'm going like I told him. I go to the hood, fuck with the weed, the chicks in the hood, all that shit, man. Yeah, then like since I've been home, I've been to Colombia, Jamaica. I go to the hood, man.
Yeah,
they
fuck
love,
with the people.
They love us over there in the hood,
You
man.
went to the hood
and I give them like I got a few people like when I finish all my old clothes, I send all that shit over there to them.
For real?
I go box it up and spend probably about $50, $60, $70 to ship that shit over there.
Damn.
That's
You
dope.
been to the hood in Kingston?
Yeah.
Oh man, they said that's one of the roughest hoods on the planet.
Yeah.
Kingston, they ain't buying none. They see you a tourist, you better be with somebody that's relevant because they gonna sick a broad on. Get them, take them to the hotel.
For real?
Yeah.
On that with you?
Yeah, they be on it, man. Back then they was on it.
Is that your favorite spot though, Jamaica? Out of everywhere you done been?
I like Colombia too, man.
Colombia.
Yeah. You a cigar smoker?
Huh?
You a cigar smoker at all? Or?
Yeah, I try when I be over there. Yeah, I smoke them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I want to go to Cuba, man, because I know somebody over there. I'm going to go to Cuba,
Straight on.
and I want to go to Dubai, man.
Damn.
Yeah,
This year,
yeah.
Dubai and Cuba, man.
Cuba, that's where Asada Shakur at, and they'll never find her there. They ain't gonna never
Man,
get
they ain't
Yeah.
gonna give her up, man. She owns some land over there, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going over there. I got a partner, man. I be talking to him. He a lot of people I met in the feds, I still talk to them.
Yeah. For real? That's what I was gonna ask you too, if you like man, any like
I want to
friends
go
and
to
shit.
Belize. I got a blood dude. He from California.
Yeah.
They sent him back to Belize. He a blood.
Damn.
I'm going to visit him, man.
Damn.
I'm going on his island and kick it with him,
Damn, yeah, that shit dope.
Yeah.
That's dope as hell.
That's dope.
Hey, before we wrap this up though, real shit. It's two things I want to do.
You gotta read that information, man.
I gotta do
For
that
sure,
afterwards,
for
man. Yeah, 'cause, like,
No, just
yeah.
take your time, man. It's 'cause
Yeah, I'ma go through it.
you want the second one to be better than the
That's what I was
first.
gonna say.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
yeah.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. Literally. So that was one of the two things I want to do. So before we get to that, Chris motherfucking Sims,
What
man.
it is.
Yes, sir.
What they call you in Rockford?
Chris Sims, man. Chris Sims.
No. You said
Oh, the poet,
Oh, the
man.
poet,
That's
Chris Sims. Yeah.
you gotta tell them to hit one.
yeah.
Yeah, they definitely know me as the poet. And when you asked earlier, you said, what do you think of when you think about Rockford, Illinois?
Yep.
So, I am a poet. I turn words into slaves, better yet, sun rays. I engrave page after 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 page with rhythmical rage. You see, once I engage, the page becomes my stage to wage wars with syllables, consonants, vowels. Syllables, consonants, and vowels. I howl in the thick of the night to conjure my poetical might. Each word written transforms into light.
I gotta smoke on that one. Come on.
I am a poet. I dive deep into the infinite world of diction to bring forth image and vision. I'm a scientist who's always in the lab, performing experiments with vocab. I am a poet, a prophet of verb, creating logic with words. I must write and recite. I cannot resist the urge. I am a poet.